Hello, all, and welcome to SideQuesters on the Critical Miss Twitch channel. My name is May. I will be your lovely game master for the evening. My pronouns are she, they, and this is going to be a wonderful little cozy show about what happens when sidekicks are left on their own to handle the problems. We will be using the world of Wildevere system as well as the world itself. But in order to better explore this, let's get into our players. Kai, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Kai. I do a bunch of things, and I go by they them pronouns. Are we promoting stuff at this point? Because I don't know what some streams do.
Nope,
Promotion at
not
the
yet.
top. All right,
But yeah,
cool. Well,
who are you playing, and what are your
mhm.
characters' pronouns as well?
All right. So my name. Oh, do I? Can I say a little bit about the character too, or is it just
Sure. Yeah, give us the little elevator pitch.
Perfect? Yes. So Kai, they them pronouns, and I'm playing Ginkgo, also they them pronouns. They're a sky eidolon. I've been
Nailed
I
it.
get it wrong almost every time. And they are sort of this like healer, jack of all trades type of person that got into the business of adventuring, and they're like, okay, I gotta love keeping people alive. What can I do to make that happen? And they also love making friends, which is kind of why they love healing, because the longer your friends are alive, the longer you have them.
This is true. That is a
Yeah,
known fact.
I only speak the truth on this matter, but yeah.
All right, Ryan, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and the character you're playing?
What's going on, y'all? I'm Ryan or Sphinx. Uh, he, him pronouns. I'm gonna be playing Atherin, Orc, also he, him pronouns. He's a party's scout and cook. You know, like to keep people fed. He's well traveled.
A truly essential member. Let's put it this way. Good food is what keeps people alive. Um, all right, Mallory, why don't you let us know who you are and who you're playing?
So hi, I'm Mallory. Mallory Mize. I'm all over the internet as Moxie Blue, so some people know me by Moxie. But today I get to play Edison, and she is a created who is built to be an assistant to engineers, and she's made of steam, and she's very like steampunk in her aesthetic.
Awesome. And last but not least, John.
Hi, my name is John Sand, internet's favorite some guy. I will be playing Girk Haversham, a stone eidolon. Character pitch wise, he is like Willy Wonka turned Donatello from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And he's been newly robot armed. I don't know if that's a verb.
Sure, it is now. If it wasn't before, it is now. So, as I said before, we are playing in the world of Wildevere, which is a very fun little game set in a magical world where magic is new. The concept came around about 2 generations ago. Some stuff happened, and now there's magic. However, it is still new and being used in new and exciting ways. Um, a little bit of what's going on in this world. We have what are called heroes and nemesi in this world. Um, and it's pretty normal to have these folks. Um, this is something that I've created. So if you go and look in the world of Wildevere things, this will not be in there. But what we have are things called heroes and nemesis. They're basically rivals. Usually it's lighthearted and it's not too intense. These are not people trying to kill each other. It's usually things like, my idea is better. No, my idea is better. And a rift is formed. Some are more popular, some are less popular. It happens. What the sidekicks are called in this world are side questers. A hero doesn't need to go and bribe the guards and stake out a room or scout a town. He's got people for that, or she or they have got people for that. And it's actually a pretty good gig. Think of it as a internship in the hero world, or way for people to see the world and travel more. It's an interesting way to do things. So what we have are some side questers that are in the employ of a hero named Neil Bronzeflame. He uses they them pronouns. They are an inventor And they have a nemesis, Lord Storm Crowdagger, who uses he/him pronouns, and they have a bit of a rivalry about how magic should be used, with Neil being more practical and Storm being more artistic. Um, of course, there is no right or wrong answer to this, but they both seem to think there is a right or wrong answer. The world itself, has many different coasts and races and landscapes, and it's just a beautiful whole place to play in, and we are going to go play in it. Now, side questers, are you ready?
Never been more.
Never been more. It's what I like to hear. All right. So let me paint a picture. There are flames abound. And this is what you remember. There was smoke, flame, screaming, and wind. You were on an airship going from Maritol, a small island area in the south, back to Innovin, which is a large city near the um, center of the map. And things were not going so well on the airship. You were all in a little sort of bunk area discussing what you had done. You had been trying to find a very special piece of coral for an invention for Neil. The whole crew was there. Neil themselves was there, along with a few other side questers they employ. While flying, there was some type of issue that caused the airship to not airship anymore, which is also now a verb. We're just going to keep creating new words. Anyways, we find our side questers, not quite heroes, but maybe one day, scattered and sort of, maybe a little confused. Um, you're sort of in a wooded area. Um, you are all alive. None of you seem to be near death. But I think I think this would be a good chance to go around and say, what is everyone feeling, experiencing? What are first thoughts? And also, if you want to describe your character, that would be great so we can get that beautiful mental image going.
I can start.
Yes, please.
Okay, so I imagine Gurk looks like I hate to say it, but classic Wonka. He's got like the long coat, he's got like the stripy pants, but I think he also has like an engineer's vest, like over all of that, and like a big like backpack and a robot arm sort of haphazardly attached to his right. And it's sort of like busting out, like it very much doesn't fit with the rest of his whole vibe. And I think he's just like looking at a small replica at the airship that he's been able to fashion out of like little pieces he found. And just sort of like looking at it, like staring and just like muttering to himself.
Okay. Any first initial thoughts, or just sort of?
First initial thought is I can't believe the airship didn't airship with me on the airship.
Mhm.
Um, this is a true failure on my part, but I will rectify this error.
Okay. Um, yeah. I mean, you'd think it would go fine. We've got engineers and inventors, but I wouldn't worry about that too much. Who would like to tell me what their character is thinking and what they look like next?
I have, I guess, like, thinking slash, like, a little bit of doing, but depends on what you wanna do. But basically, my character, Ginkgo, they are well, as I said, Sky Eidolon, so, they have, like, grayish, silvery skin. They have, like, small, like, moth wings. It's not, like, big enough to, like, fly, but they are there, and they're, like
Mhm.
the clothes are kind of, like they have an open back thing because, wings, and it's just very like light and allows for a lot of movement because when things happen you gotta like be able to actually if you want to flail around you have to have the space to flail around,
Yes.
and their first thought is first aid, I gotta give out first aid, and I think they're half thinking it half like already in motion.
Mhm.
to just like put their first aid magic into play. I like, but who even knows if anyone actually needs first aid? But they're check-in.
Yeah, no, it's good to check.
Yeah.
You remember spells being cast, essentially akin to, help you drift down softer. Um, that spell may have worn off because you do remember impacting the ground.
Mhm.
But all right, who's next?
I can go.
Yeah.
So Edison is a created, so she does not, while she like resembles the shape of a humanoid, she's not human. She is made of steam, so upon impact, all of her just sort of dissipates before
Hmm.
it comes back together. To her, this impact isn't all that bad, but they are also um, they're built to assist engineers. That was the whole purpose that they were created for. So on the impact, as they come back together, you can see like the sort of like leather, like brown leather and bronze, like very steampunk esque, like corset style with the skirt. As she dissipates, it flattens to the ground, and then they come back together and fill the outfit back up. And you can see like rounder features form. She's like mid-sized, probably,
Hmm.
and they have really long flowing hair that is just sort of like steam that spirals down. And they have a rose in their hair that's actually made out of gears, like bronze gears, that they have sat down and crafted into a rose. Um, and sort of made like this little device on the underneath of it so it will float in the steam of her hair. So they will, get up, dust themselves off a little bit, not them, but like more the outfit of being like, oh, that's dirt, I guess. And they are sort of like in search for whatever engineer looks like they may need help with anything, because that's like all that they really know how to do. And they probably are also looking for Neil and wherever they landed in the crash, because that is technically our boss. I should pay attention to my boss. So I guess I'll make sure that you didn't get super hurt.
As much as anyone should pay attention to their
Yeah.
boss.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the relationship SideQuesters have with their hero or nemesis is usually pretty positive. Like I said, it's
Yeah,
like an
like,
internship. So
yeah, she's not like mad or anything, but it's like, oh, like that was not the first thought. That was like the third thought at that point of being
Gotcha.
like, I have an engineer to assist. And it's like, no, I don't think I do. I have a thing to repair. No, that's not it either. Oh, my boss. I should go find my boss. That's it.
Do you actively get up to go look for them,
Yeah, I
or
think so. I think
okay?
that's like when there is the first two are like not correct because she's been created to go in this order, that when the first two are wrong, the third one must be right. So that is the new objective, is to go find Neil.
Okay. Um, I will address that in a moment. But let's find out what our fourth side quester looks like and what they are thinking, or what he is thinking. Excuse me.
Yeah, Atherin has kind of dark skin, almost subtle wolf-like muzzle, um, cornrow hairstyle tied back. Um, he's wearing kind of like a um, green shirt, tunic with a brown leather vest, dark pants. Uh, Currently he's searching through his supplies, make sure nothing's really broken.
Mhm.
But around his waist, he has a almost like a utility belt around his waist,
Okay.
and where he keeps his spices and things. And right now, he's just looking through his gear while also scanning the area around us, trying to
Mhm.
see what kind of situation we've landed in.
All right. So now that we have everyone set up, there seems to be a little bit of confusion. You are in a fairly heavily wooded area. You were traveling, north. This makes sense. You were traveling near um, the forested city of Torin. So that I mean, it's you could probably surmise that's roughly where you are. Um, but the goal. So it sounds like people were looking for your boss.
I'd say real quick, Girk wants to go talk to Edison, or at least try to find Edison before they find Neil.
You all roughly fell in the same space. You can all see each other.
Mhm.
Edison, you see Girk sort of walking up to you as he's like attaching a attachment to his arm, and as you see what it is, it's like a notebook with the coil sort of auto flipping the piece of paper that he's trying to write on, and he's like, Edison, I have seen to come up with a hypothesis for the airship problem. We need to generate more up. Can you run the diagnostics on how to do that? I'm hoping for more up energy.
More up.
The problem is we're on the ground, but we
Yeah,
are an airship.
that is very true. How much do you know about up?
I've been up several times, more than
Hmm.
most, I could say.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
If we were to put my up abilities into question, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say I'm about 6 on up, but 8 on down.
Oh, okay. So
While
you
you're
have
having this
oh.
conversation, a piece of the ship that was stuck in a tree just plunks down next to you.
Ah, I know that. That's down. See, told you.
Yeah, you do know the basics of gravity and also how to fall. That's good.
Well, and see, that's where a lot of people get stuck. They think about the basics, but you need to remember when you have a thing that needs to go up, you'll need energy to make it go that way.
You
Little
know,
fun fact
that
for you.
that is very fair and something that I certainly knew 5 minutes ago, but thank you so much for saying it again. Um, I'm I will work on up for you.
We've already covered up. We need up energy for the ship.
Yeah, no,
I'm,
yes, sure.
I think the engine. That's a place to go, and our
That is,
boss,
yeah, that
because
is a
he.
good place. Also, I am trying to find Neil. That's where I was going when you stopped me. But I can look at the engine if I can get close enough to it.
I
I
figure
can see there's like a. I imagine at least that some of the engineers and stuff have got up and are at least trying to figure out what happened. I can go check with them if you would like after we find
what
Neil.
I was thinking it would be a great idea if we saved the day.
Okay. I can assist in that. I was me like leading saving the day is not exactly what I was made for, but I could try.
I was operating more from a macro level of the goal, and then we sort of figure out the specifics on the way. But yes, I would love to do something actionable. Let's go find Neil. Yes, good. Yes.
Cool. Let's start with Neil. And as Edison like turns to keep walking towards Neil, it's like up energy. Why does he think it's up energy? Just that's the question.
And Girk is going to follow excitedly behind you, sort of shuffling along.
You will notice you are the only four people you see.
Ooh. Yeah, I think Ginkgo is first of all waving Atherin over so we can all like just join up and like saying like hey guys, do you see anyone else? I, I don't notice anyone. Can't find Neil.
I have noticed we are all on our lonesome, which is a secondary problem that
Around
I would call that the first problem, though. We crashed with a lot of people. There was Neil, there were many engineers, the ones that I thought would be trying to fix everything by now. Who am I supposed to assist if there are no engineers?
each other through the power of friendship and camaraderie.
Each other through the power of friendship and camaraderie.
Girk smiles so big.
I am still very new to like this place in general. I don't I've not been here for very long, and as in like alive. So friendship is still a very foreign concept. I'm supposed to follow somebody that
It's okay.
has a lot of.
It's a practice. You gotta learn it. Sometimes it takes time.
Okay, we will try the power of friendship.
And power of I was going to I wanted to just be here with you in this, but maybe I had a thought. What if when we fell out of the machine, what if we fell in our own special place while everyone else sort of fell in another centralized area? Do you all remember what you were doing when the ship went down?
You were all together when the ship started going down. So the four of you were together. Some of the engineers would have been near the engine or just kind of chatting. A few other side questers were in a different little space. You were all four together.
So unless something else happened that we all forgot, we were already together.
Oh, oh, perfect. I must have not noticed. I was
Yeah, I'm gonna start looking around for tracks.
Oh yes, tracks, of course.
All right. It sounds like we want to start looking. Let's have our first roll of the game.
Sure.
Let's call it Gotta Find My Boss.
Great.
What dice do we use for that?
I was gonna say, what
So
skill
how
would I
this
even use
works
for how?
is you will roll a d20.
Mhm.
If you have a attribute you think makes sense for this roll, you can add that die in or let me know and I'll affirm or deny that choice.
I've got a ability called 1,000-Yard Stare that I use
Okay.
to work out problems. Could Gurk sort of like look off in the middle distance and try to like think of where Neil might have been and calculate where he might have fallen with that
Sure.
information?
Yeah, I would say you could go ahead and add that in.
Yeah, so you see Gurk just gets a haunted look on his face. He's like, I remember
Can we
something.
only can we only choose one attribute per roll?
Yes, you can only use one attribute.
I rolled a 17.
Roll to
Oh.
17. Okay.
Twinsy, I rolled a 17 plus 8 for my 1,000-Yard Stare ability.
Woo! Okay.
I'm gonna try lending a hand since I am helping my friends and trying.
Yeah,
to
okay,
find
so
right now.
you are helping them out. Okay,
Yes.
sounds good.
Well, if my D10 would land on the thing, that'd be great. 18 altogether. 12
18
and 6.
That was 10 for me.
and for you. Okay. So a success is anything equal to or greater than the DC I set in my head. For this one, it was a DC 12. Anything less than 3 less than that is considered a mixed success. So Atherin, you had a mixed success. So it's you start looking and you kind of ended up going in a small circle. But you found sort of similar information as everyone else in that no one is really around, which is kind of odd. But at the same time, you start to remember pieces of the ship falling apart. And there is a chance that you fell out first and then things got worse because the airship didn't just stop and break. It continued to move. And you have a general direction that it was continuing to go north and that based on everything that's going on, you're pretty sure everyone would have survived. But it's hard to tell. You're finding pieces of debris, some pieces of maybe like paperwork or bottles that were on the ship, maybe some, just like random stuff you had on there, like some clothing items that were brought along, but you're not finding anyone else. Some crystals, which are bipedal crystal birds essentially, that are rideable, were brought along with you. And you're not seeing any tracks, so they either fell off later or you're not sure where they went. But you're seeing smoke in the distance, and it looks pretty much straight north. It just feels odd that you're alone.
Perhaps we have been ostracized for our bombastic personalities.
What? Ostracization? That would never happen to us.
I don't know. We make a lot of good food and don't often share.
Well, hold on back up. Does Athrun share the good cooked food?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Just doesn't tell Gurk he shares the good food.
Gurk would go mad with power sharing all the good food.
Athrun likes feeding people so he doesn't hold anything back.
I imagine there was a situation where Gurk was like trying to create some
There's
type
people
of
that's
food
hungry,
empire.
they're gonna get.
Going okay. So he shares, which is good. Everyone sharing is caring.
Perhaps our sharing of food made us targeted in the social space.
What?
You never know. If you put a target on your back, you could get shot. But I have yet another hypothesis. Perhaps we have been breadcrumbed out of the ship in its falling path. And if we follow where the ship was going, we find more of our friends, compatriots, and possible family members.
Okay, yeah, I like that idea.
I will take that is my favorite hypothesis that you have come up with today. Good job.
Gurk tries to write on his flipping notebook, and he makes one single check mark.
The whole page, one check mark.
And as soon as he makes the note, the page flips over, and he can't find it again.
Well, it should be in the direction we were headed.
Perfect. I don't see any of those little animals that you often ride on, so it looks like this is going to be an on-foot adventure.
Oh, you all have to walk. Yes, on foot adventure. You all have to walk. Sorry.
We could crawl, but it would take longer.
No, I mean that I don't.
We could crawl.
Yeah, I mean, whatever mode of transportation makes you all happy is fine. I don't crawl either. I don't touch the ground, but you all are doing great. Whatever mode of transportation is most comfortable for people that walk.
You know what they say, Edison? When you crawl, you get to say hi to the bugs.
No, I don't think I like that.
Well, you gotta start liking bugs. Are we ready to get moving?
I like gears and machinery.
They say a machine is like a bug because they both exist.
Gathered his stuff.
No one says that.
Yeah, it sounds like I think this conversation is happening while you're walking.
This is as moving right along is starting to play.
In no way would I have stood still while we were having that conversation. I think Gurk would keep trying to stand still, would take a few steps and stop, and Edison is just floating through him and we'll keep going.
Yeah.
Come on.
So, every time you float through him, Gurk is like, oh yes, we have to keep moving.
Yes.
So I will say that there is no real clear path. Like I said, you fell in the middle of the woods, so it's not like there's a hiking trail. But you can see the smoke in the distance and you can kind of smell it. You have found, as you said, you rolled really well, so you can found the breadcrumbs of ship. Eventually you do see crystal tracks that looks like they ran right off. And it's one of those moments where it kind of hits you. You've never been alone before in a situation as a side quester and not had someone telling you what to do. You've always had some type of mission, I need to go here and do blank. I need to go pick up blank. We need to organize blank. This is just, you have to come up with your own mission and execute it. I feel like that's something that's maybe radiating in everyone's mind as you walk. Is anyone doing anything special, or is it just heading towards the fire or the smell?
While we're walking, if I see any pieces of the ship that don't look completely ruined, I'm gonna pick them up and put them in my bag if they're small enough, because I keep scraps in there for when I need to repair.
Oh, for sure. You've definitely found gears or pieces of a pipe. Also, you have found stuff. So, I mean, the way the ship was going down, it didn't seem like it didn't just explode. something kind of happened.
Okay, sweet. Then
Yeah.
yeah, whatever I can fit in my bag, because I know that I already have some in there, and I've got like leather and stuff in my bag too. So kind of like just whatever will fit is what
Sure.
I'll take, because that and a couple books is pretty much all I keep in this bag.
That makes
I
sense for them.
I have my technomancy skill, and I was wondering if I could use it to try to find like the airship black box, or like access it through the pieces that we find, or see if there's any like surveillance system.
So there is no airship black box, and there isn't really a surveillance system. That's a little too advanced for the society you're in. The concept of those things is maybe alive, where it's like, oh, that would be very cool. Too bad
Be
it
pretty
doesn't
dope.
exist.
Someone should really get on that.
Someone should really get on that.
Girk is like, this is perfect for my little black box idea. If we had one of those, it would be super
Mhm.
easy to fix.
Yeah. But no, there's no black box. This was Neil's airship.
Oh, the insurance.
Yeah, so this was their airship. They have a lot of money, so
Girk leans over to
their own.
Ginkgo and is
We'll
like,
just find
a quick hypothesis. Perhaps this is some type of insurance scheme. Maybe we should check Neil's plan to see if he gets some type of payoff for this thing hitting the ground. You know what I'm saying? Yes, very good. Yes.
You think Neil's like that? You think Neil would do something like that?
Well,
Something nefarious?
maybe he needs the scratch for like an upcoming gift giving holiday.
But they have like so much resource, like they can just do another adventure. I feel like that would get the maybe
It's
there's
fine.
a lot
Jake from State Farm is also a side quester.
Please. Someone make the art right now.
Maybe there's things I just don't know about Neil.
The greatest adventure of all is tax-based crime, as my father always said.
Okay, I would say while you are walking along, you hear a lot of birds chirping. You hear the fluttering of fairy wings. It's actually a really nice day out. So while there is a lot of trees, the sun is peeking through. It's, a little bit cloudy. You hear rustling every now and then near you, or then at a distance and kind of moving around. But you guys, if you're going to continue to just move forward, you're realizing this may be a longer walk than you were planning.
I have something I'd like to try. If you all remember, we did see tracks a while back ago of those little bird creatures. I was thinking, if I did a perfect enough whistle to be able to maybe do some type of mating call, I could get one of them to come to us, and it would shorten the walk.
I don't think you want them to respond to a mating call.
Maybe not.
Oh.
Maybe more like
feels
a
wrong.
supper's ready, or like a suey. If you ever
I mean,
have been to a rodeo.
You show up to a mating call and there's no mate.
Yeah, that's violence. But
Well,
supper's ready. Is that what you said? What is that?
well, have you ever had dinner before?
No, I don't eat.
Oh no! Oh, it's a cultural.
Edison has seen people eat, though.
Yeah,
they
I've
hang
watched-
out at dinner
I've watched
tables.
you.
Yeah.
I've watched you eat, but like I didn't know you called it supper at any point. Neil always calls it dinner.
Well,
Is that the same thing?
It's like, basically, what I'm trying to do is basically take like a whistle that means like soup's on, and then
Okay.
maybe if any of the birds are hungry, they'll come to us.
You know bird language?
I was
Isn't
just
it
going to
just
feel it
simpler-
out. I'm a personable guy.
Okay, so let's say, you want to try this. Do you have an attribute you'd like to use?
I'm thinking.
And you're going to really have to sell me on this.
Okay. So I have an attribute by the name of Everybody Knows Your Name. And okay. I was
These are
gonna try to-
birds.
Okay.
They are semi-intelligent. Like,
Everyone. Birds are not everyone.
birds are not everyone.
The
Who's the
sell
type?
was gonna be, it's like in that montage where you're walking down the street and everybody knows your name. It's like when you walk by a bunch of pigeons, you're like, "Hey, yo, pigeons!" and you throw them a piece of bread and they appreciate it. But no, I'll just do this raw. So it's a D20.
So it's going to be a D20 flat. Your DC is 18.
Oh man.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Oh,
this
we're
is
gonna.
tough.
But
Okay.
it is.
Gurk is gonna dig around in his arm accessories bag, and
Sure.
he's gonna pull out what is like a mixing device, like a spoon, but he's gonna try to whistle with it because it's got like a hole. And
Sure.
I just tossed my d20 into the pit, but I have another one, and I rolled an 11. So I think Gurk just
Oh.
puts his like hand in his mouth and just sort of beatboxes for a good 7 seconds. Just it's hold on.
You gave it your best go. Sorry.
So,
While
yeah,
while
so
while Girk is doing this,
mhm.
Atherton is actually pulling things out of his bag to try to cook some food to draw animals that way.
Okay, so
A honey pot, perfect.
And
okay,
we've been
so
walking for a while, so
yeah, you've been walking for a little while. I mean, you also were pretty jarred by, falling out of a flaming airship. Food is usually nice. I will say the little birds that were in trees around you have flown away so fast. It sounds like your beatboxing had the opposite effect on animals. Um,
Gurk Haversham hated my own birds. I'm a monster.
But not
I
everyone.
mean,
So you still got.
I will make it my mission to befriend one bird. Mark my words.
okay, campaign goal: befriend one bird. Got
Yes.
it.
A bird friend.
Okay, and so Evan, you were going to try to cook something to lure in these to bring animals near you.
yeah, as a secondary to just getting everybody a meal.
Okay.
I gotta know, are you walking and cooking, or have we sort of like taken a pregnant pause?
Sort of like a pause, like temporary camp kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So just a little break. Okay.
I think Gurk has one of those like mouth
It,
harps, and he's playing that.
he doesn't have a lot of meat on him, so he's just like herbs and like veggies and things like that, like whatever he basically had on him when the ship
Yeah, you
went
all would have
down.
had your stuff with you. You were kind of doing a debrief is what I would call it. When this started happening. I'm kind of going through what worked, what didn't work in your last little mission. So you had all your stuff with you because I don't feel like telling you didn't. So yeah, you can start cooking if you're trying to draw in. I don't. Let's just say, for the sake of this, that the crystals do eat meat. Um, so if you want to try and get them near, you can do that. But I'm going to make the DC 17. And do you have an attribute you'd like to use?
Yep, hell of a cook.
Hell of a cook. Okay, I'll count that one. Yeah. And so, what dice is that?
That's my D12.
Cool.
Also, am I able to benefit his role in any type of way? Because I have a cell. Okay.
Yeah.
That would be a 24.
Oh, okay. So not only did you get it, so you are cooking. You are doing some like beautiful stuff in a pan. Once
Hibachi.
again, it's just mesmerizing. And you hear the trill, like the I can't make that sound because I'm sick right now, like a little trill sound of a crystal. And I'm just gonna roll something real quick. Okay. And two of them, one without any harness or bridle or anything, and the other with the harness on, kind of peek around and start coming closer because they know that smell. They've been cooked for before. As a description, crystals are, like I said, large bipedal birds. They're usually white with sort of black, like around their beaks and feet. And then they have crystals in like their little tail and their mane. And on these, one of them has pink crystals and another one has yellow crystals. And you see them and you would recognize them. One of them has, I would say, Neil's like logo. He has like a little shield on the bridle, and they kind of sneak up and then like trot over like excited little babies.
Great going.
Catherine put out his hand for
Mhm.
one of them. Like he's fed them before, so
Yeah, they know you. They're friendly. Think of them as like,
Dogs.
I don't know, kind of like, I was gonna say cats, more like,
Mm-hmm.
in that they want this, but like on their terms.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
and he starts portioning out food for everybody.
Hmm. Yeah,
Gurk,
they are super excited for this.
Gurk does the Jurassic World Chris Pratt move when they approach.
Yeah, they have completely ignored you. They are going like nothing else in the world exists except for this beautiful orc and his beautiful cooking, and so that's all that they can see. They smelled this from a distance and they made their way.
Does the one with the bridle, does it have like a saddlebag or anything?
No, no
Okay.
saddlebag. It looks like because they were harnessed in the ship.
Okay, just
Um,
want to make sure that there's like no clues that we're like missing.
No, so
But they seem to,
yeah. Go ahead.
they seem to be fine though, right? Like not hurt.
Yeah, they're not hurt.
Okay.
If they are, they're hiding it. They're really pumped about food.
So I do have a question. Once we get the crystals on our side through the power of food, is the next step to mount them and continue the trek? Or are
Probably a
they-
good idea. I mean, like, do you want to continue walking? I can at least like, I can take the unbridled one or the one with the saddle, or two of us can take that. I and another person.
I'm
I
fine
am
with
not.
walking.
Okay, good. Well, I am not familiar with riding saddleless, so it might be good for me to be on a saddle one if we decide to take them. But maybe they'd be good to just have in the back as a quick getaway. Well, who
Also,
am I?
neither have saddles. Just
Oh,
FYI.
okay.
Oh, that's one of them. Just was the bridle.
The bride.
Yeah, so it looks like one got out of its little bridle harness
Hmm.
and the other one didn't.
Okay.
Well, I can make do if we end up riding them. But I think continuing along the path is probably a good idea if we want to make contact with everyone else on the airship. Most importantly, Neil.
And it might be a good idea to conserve our energy just in case like something else happens because
We might need to do a big hit.
Why would
Yeah.
something else happen? I don't understand.
what? If this came
What?
We've already had one thing for the day, and if we have
No.
two things, I'm going to get so overwhelmed.
No, that's the whole game. Is we crash out of an airship and we're just walking now.
that's
That's
all,
it.
folks.
The whole 3 episodes. That's all we're doing.
Hey, Mallory, way to spoil it for everyone. Thanks for that.
No.
Wow.
The
All right,
walking
that's
game.
it.
About it. I'm
We
so
can
sorry.
we can sing moving right along if we really want to, but you
Okay.
only get one of
Easy.
those.
I will say that if you do not keep these crystals' attention, they will F off.
I think we should I guess like I think it's a good idea to just like ride them for a little bit because we don't know how long we're going to be doing this sort of thing. I mean, I hate to say it, worst case scenario, Neil is not here.
Bite your tongue! Bite your tongue! Bite your tongue! No!
I want to bite it, please. I want to bite it so
Oh,
bad.
That makes my
we don't
stomach
know.
hurt. Oh,
okay.
God.
Look, hypothesis: we have no evidence to suggest that Neil is here. Only
Oh,
only their birds.
Resolution to your hypothesis. He could hit his head on the ground very hard and be asleep. Oh no.
I'll believe it when I have the evidence.
We need to become acquainted with these crystals immediately. It's time to touch base. Cross the bridge, if you will.
You know them. Like, you know they have names. Whoever
Crest-
says names first gets to name them.
One is definitely Kevin.
the other one is
Yes.
Spirit. The other one is Spirit. As a
Kevin and
reference-
Spirit. There we go.
Okay, the pink one is Kevin. The
Wait.
yellow one is Spirit. Gonna write this down.
Kevin's my favorite.
Girk puts his head to Spirit's head and like brushes his mane.
Which is really hard to do because the mane is made of crystals. So
Yeah.
that is impressive.
Girk
Very
definitely
carefully.
pulls his head away, and there definitely are like crystals embedded in his head a little bit.
Yeah.
He's like, "Thank you for your gift. I will treasure this forever."
And they're like, yeah. There's food. So I'm good. I'm fully good.
Yeah, Girk is doing this as its head is like in the plate, and he does have like a little bit of like meat juice on his beard
Mhm.
now.
Like literally, these birds need nothing but this food. Our love is irrelevant. Like I don't need it. Yeah,
Or cats.
cats. They're just cats.
Okay, so what is the plan, SideQuesters?
It seems like we're going to be using we're gonna ride these birds down to until we see something interesting, and hopefully, fingers crossed, hopefully Ginkgo can bite their tongue. Find Neil, find anyone,
Yeah.
find a clue. Yeah.
Does anyone have something to maybe watch our six in case there are any interlopers along our path?
I've been doing
Girk's
that
eyes
since
get
we've
so narrow.
I've been doing that since we've started walking.
Ah, Ithrin, my beautiful baby boy, thank you.
Atherin far from babyhood.
Yeah, I was about to
Please
say,
tell me that Atherin's like
giant
older.
orc.
Yeah.
So Atherin, you have been watching everyone's six. Would you mind rolling a d20 for me?
Just a flat D20.
Just a flat d20?
That's code for how long have you been being followed and you haven't noticed.
Oh
That is
no.
That is a 16.
Okay, so you're fine. I wouldn't worry about that.
that laugh at the end of that though.
What a double blind.
Girk standing proudly with his hands on his hips, like,
Luckily, through the power of Ithrin's perception, there's no one following us at all. We're safe. Nothing bad will ever happen to us.
I think the only thing Atherin would note is there is a consistent rustling nearby, but you have not seen anything.
Yeah, he'll just note that and kind of keep it to himself for now. He doesn't want to start anything.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it could be nothing. It could be everything. Or nothing. It's probably nothing.
Wouldn't worry about it.
Ithrin, how much food do you think the birds need? Are we good to get a move on?
Yeah, we could probably pick up something later along the way.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, these birds are not starving. They are pampered. Like
I noticed Spirit is plump with food energy.
food energy, yes. So I will say that Kevin has his bridle on and Spirit does not. Are you gonna try and ride bridleless?
Yeah.
absolutely. I've already have a connection with Spirit.
Okay, so you are gonna ride saddleless and bridleless.
Could I try to fashion one of those through technomancy? Okay, cool.
That would be pretty easy. Edison has some leather
Ew.
and other miscellaneous scraps and doodads.
And my toolkit. I
and the
come prepared
toolkit.
for these things.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this is pretty easy. This is a DC 8.
Edison, we must use our mental powers to collaborate.
That is a 4 and a 6, getting me a 10.
Okay,
Whoa!
perfect. So you're able. It's not pretty by any means, but it's functional. It doesn't look like the most comfortable thing for Spirit to wear, but it works. He doesn't fight you on it. It's not like aggravating to his feathers.
Girk puts his hand on Spirit's cheek and says, "If I could bless you with my technological wonder this one time, Spirit." And then he like puts it on. And is it like a one-person saddle, or is it gonna be two people who get on this?
One person per crystal.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Who is the most adverse to walking?
I'll be walking. I'm fine.
I don't walk. We covered this earlier. You two are fine.
So I guess it's us.
Yay! Ginkgo! Crystal Twins!
Crystal twins.
Yeah, Kevin
Yeah.
has that blank look in his eye like he always does. There's no brain.
Oh.
There's no thoughts behind those eyes.
That's why Kevin is my favorite.
Smooth brain.
She thinks
Smooth
enough
brain.
for the both of them, so when Kevin doesn't question what Edison does, that's why he became the favorite.
Like
So
you think there's a
true.
reason Kevin couldn't get his own harness off.
Yep.
Poor Kevin.
Oh, so
Poor
tragic.
Kevin.
Kevin.
Okay, so
Spirit is so arrogant.
we have got Ginkgo on Kevin and Gert on Spirit, and then Edison and Athrun are walking. Then Athrun, are you still keeping an eye behind you and around you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he's not trying to make it obvious that he's like just generally looking around. Like he's not looking in any particular direction.
Yeah. Will you go ahead and roll me another d20?
That was an 8.
Okay. Yeah, you don't hear anything. It's still the same kind of rustling sounds, but nothing new. Once again, you still see everything off in the distance. You're still finding pieces of wood. The crystals seem undisturbed. Eventually you get to like a little clearing that has like a fairy ring, so like mushrooms in a circle. And then there's a little signpost. It looks handmade, but also somehow glittery. Like it's very clear, like fairies made this. And it has like the little arrow, and it says Groveland. And it has an arrow pointing in a direction. And then it has something written in a fairy language pointing in another direction.
Can I try to use one of my things to read that?
Sure.
If God, I can explain that because of all of the books that I have to read for work. I know that it's not an engineering thing. I would think I've at least come across other languages, even if I'm not like versed in them. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I'll say that you can probably like phonetically figure out, or you can figure out the
Okay.
meaning, but maybe not the exact words.
I'll take that.
Okay, go for it.
18?
Okay, so it essentially says fairies only keep out.
Oh.
Um,
This says we shouldn't go here. So the long way around, maybe?
Well, where
no, so it's going in a different direction.
Oh, it's going in a
Okay.
different direction.
Yeah,
Never
yeah,
mind.
yeah.
Then we just don't go that way. We go this way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
pointing
agree.
towards the mushroom fairy circle,
Oh, okay.
and like in a
Yeah.
different, like
Oh.
basically like you can go left and go that way, or go right and go to Groveland.
So a
Okay, yeah.
circle, you say? Let's
No.
not.
Yeah, fairy circles, from what I can understand about all of that, are not things that you step into, especially when signs tell you not to do that. So
Mhm.
I will
should
say,
not go that way.
the barring of our entry does pique my little interest.
Why are so many people like that? I don't understand. Shouldn't you follow instruction?
You should follow
Ooh.
instructions.
Ooh.
We need to teach you about the call to adventure.
I
I
think
like- I like
I'll-
adventure, but I like adventure led by someone else with instruction.
The,
So
the call
while
to
you're all
adventure got us falling out of an airship.
Thank you. That's
Oh,
our adventure.
Ethrin, your wisdom, it knows no bounds.
I need Ginkgo and excuse me, Gurk.
Oh.
Could you roll a d20 for me?
Oh, yeah.
Because your crystals are very upset all of a sudden, and you are at a chance for falling off. This is a DC 15.
Okay.
Oh. Okay. I would like to make a roll or try to add my robot arm to this by saying I have like a loop attachment I've attached the saddle to.
So there is no saddle.
No, it's like there's a saddle, but like my hand is like a loop that is like clamped
The
on.
the bridle thing, right?
Oh, yeah, that part. So it's like my arm is attached to like the writing contraption. That's
Sure.
great.
So you have like an extra thing holding on. Okay,
I'm
cool.
I'm
That's
clipped
fine.
in.
You're clipped
I have
in.
2 things that I don't know, like which one you'd want me to add. I have float like a butterfly, which like I don't know if it's like if I get knocked off, I don't get hurt that much, or life of the party where I can calm them down. Either one, either or.
Let's do float like a butterfly.
All right, I'm adding a
You're a little
d6
bit
to
more
that.
at ease. You're a little bit more dexterous.
Okay,
DC
together that's
15.
19.
Ooh.
Oh.
19. Gert, what'd you get?
I got an 11 plus 6, so only 17.
17, that's fine. You both beat the DC. So
Ooh.
what happens is Kevin especially sort of just jumps straight into the air. Spirit tries to run off entirely. As 3 koboloi jump out of the bushes, and one of them has like a little spear, and the others are like in a pose, and they're giving you all this weird look. And koboloi are like they have a sort of humanoid shape, but they are newts. All of these newts are sort of a reddish purple color. They have on a little uniform. Like I said, one has a little spear, and the other two, and they're about like halfling size. So they are pretty small, reddish purple. Their little brows are well, they don't really have brows, but where brows would be, they're furrowed, and they're looking at you, very confused, very upset, and they all bear the insignia of Lord Storm Crowdagger.
Oh.
Whoa. Okay.
They are not acting aggressively, but they sort of stop and look at you and go, "What's happening? Why are you here?"
Hey, we're not here to harm anyone. We're just here to try to find Neil. Sorry, I get it.
We just passing along.
We got an animosity going on. We don't have to. We're just, trying to find Neil.
I've got to move.
You lost him? Them?
Yeah.
You see them all simultaneously put their little fists on their hips.
Oh no,
Like-
we've escalated the situation. Don't worry, I'm going to use my social skills in order to de-escalate.
Okay, what would you like to do to de-escalate?
And Girk is gonna sort of walk up to him, and like, I think Girk has like some engineer suspenders. He's gonna put his hands on him, flick him, and be like,
Hey, come on, we're all friends here. Hey, it's me, your buddy Girk.
and I'm gonna try to use my everybody knows your name skill
There you go.
to-
And use that one.
just sort of just to be like, hey, there's no need for this to get crazy. I'm on a big horse.
You're on a bird. We don't talk about horses.
Oh yeah, sorry
Oh,
guys.
Yeah.
I just didn't mean
That
to
isn't
drop the
actually
big
in
H.
the world of Build-A-Bear handbook. We do not talk about horses.
You're not talking
Dirk
about
gets a
horses.
1,000-yard stare as he thinks about the word horses.
Yes.
But
I'm on a big old bird. Isn't this crazy? This is a crazy situation we're in.
and everybody knows your name. That's a D4.
It's your D4 attribute. Yep.
Okay, so I got a 4 and a 4.
So 8, which is cool.
8. Yes.
I would say it's not too difficult. They're mostly confused. They're not really angry. They're trying to figure it out because they were. And so the one that had the spear, he puts it back on his back and he walks forward and is like, "Well, we're also doing a thing here, sort of.
Okay, I don't
It's
I don't
none
want to,
of your business what we're doing here."
I don't mean to impose, but you're not trying to find Lord Storm Crowdacker, are you? You're not like lost.
No, we know where he is. They kind of look at each other and nod, like, "Yeah, I know. Do you know? I know. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we
Okay.
all know where he is."
They're a tightly knit unit. This is gonna be difficult.
It's okay to be lost. We are too.
Oh, we're not lost. We know exactly where we're going.
Oh,
We're trying to figure out where you're going.
We are going forward. Which way are you going?
And once again, they all simultaneously cross their arms.
There's a faux pas that I see that I've done.
No, it's
Allow
okay.
me-
We don't have to tell you where we're going. We
Hey.
were just leaving. We left Groveland and we're doing some stuff in the forest. We look at each other for fun.
Oh, I'm
And
familiar with the
then,
concept.
um, yeah.
Well, I come to you with a deal. Consider this. We go this way. You do what you were doing. We gain going the way we want. You get to keep doing what you were doing. Yes? Good?
You're
Yes, you
not
like?
trying to sabotage us, right?
I don't even know what
No.
the word sabotage even means because I love people so much.
I'm gonna roll the dice real quick.
Because I love people so much, I do not know the meaning of that word.
They all nod. Yes, they do believe that you don't know that word.
I get
Yes.
it.
Gurk smiles so big.
You for
We got-
sure give the impression that you don't know what that word is, and they were like, "Yes, we agree."
I
I get it. There's
imagine
like yeah, I get it. There's a whole animosity between us, like that. Like, what we like. That's between Neil and Lord Storm Crowdagger, right? Like, that's not us.
I'm just clocking in. Do you feel me, brother man?
and
I'm also
Gurk holds
clocking
his hand
in.
out for a fist bump.
They do not fist bump. They sort of like one of them just takes it and like puts his little hand on yours and is like, "Am I doing this right? Is this what you do?" And then the other ones are like, "Yeah, that's right." And he goes, "Yep," and he like pats your fist.
Gurk sort of flounders and whips.
So they sort of look at you, and then they, for a moment, you hear them kind of like huddle and like
When
just a
they
little
do
bit of
that,
chatter, and each of them kind of look at you and pause, and like look at every single one of you, lingering for a moment, and kind of like tilt their head, almost confused, and then sort of go, "Okay, well, I guess we can go our separate ways."
No harm, no foul in that. Hey, I I even think Crowdagger. There's a world where our whole things can coexist. You know. You know.
Huh?
Let bygones be bygones.
Yeah. Let bygones be bygones.
Everybody
Please.
hugs. Everybody
Everyone
hugs and
hugs.
kisses. Yay!
Maybe not a kiss.
Not
We
a
can
kiss.
ask, but like
I mean,
hug.
maybe a kiss if you're nasty. I don't know your life, but
Excuse you, we are not nasty. And like
I
It's
the one in
okay.
the front is like, and the other two are like, "Thank you, we are not."
it's like I'm not saying that anybody's nasty, but I'm leaving the door open if you want to walk through it. Speaking of walking through it, that's something that we would like to be doing right now to the road in the path.
Okay. Once again, we're here for Neil.
Yep. We're
And the
lost.
call to adventure.
And the call to adventure.
All of you?
SideQuesters, 4 of
We
us.
know. We get the job.
Yeah.
I mean, finding shelter, that's also on the list, but call to adventure and our boss, two like main objectives.
Gurk
Okay.
sort of leans back to Ginkgo and says, "They're a little bit too tightly knit of a group. I don't think that we're still very low status in this social
No,
interaction.
I think we like okay. Best thing we can do.
I'm
Hey,
breaking. I'm
hey
breaking.
guys, that great talk we had. We're gonna continue walking. We hope you have the greatest of days.
Oh,
And
Mr.
Ginkgo is
Points.
gonna start walking, and then just like look back like every so often, just to make sure that like nothing bad is gonna happen.
No,
Gurk, oh,
they don't look aggressive at all, and they just sort of once again kind of wave. One of them like points in y'all's general direction, and then like whispers something, and then they all kind of nod and go, "Okay, bye," and like they walk off, unless you
and
stop them to say something.
after they say bye, I lean back over to Ginkgo. It's like, "They're talking about us. They're making fun of us.
No,
it's
no,
so good.
no! You
Oh,
did great. You did
God.
great. I promise. I promise. I promise.
Was
Another great, another
successful
success.
adventure. Another successful adventure. Yes. Wait, what's our
Yes.
group called again?
I
Oh,
don't
we had a
remember.
name.
We had a
I
name.
I have it written down. Do you want me to remind you?
Yes,
Yes,
please.
please.
You are the Cordon Bleu crew.
Oh, that's
Well,
what it was.
Another successful adventure for the Cordon Bleu crew.
And Gurk points his hand towards the sky, and a little party popper pops out of his arm.
I
He goes
think,
back to his
like-
notebook and makes another tally mark.
I will like kind of be in the back of our pack, and as we are walking past, we'll just stop and to whichever of them is around me, just go. I very much admire your synchronization, by the way. It's very nice to have instruction.
Yeah, it's all about the learning process and like getting to bond, making
Such
friends.
a tightly knit crew. One day I hope to be on their level. Did you see the way they all whispered to each other and put their hands on their hips? I think that should be a move that we adopt.
I personally prefer the diversity in this group and the way that we all bring our own flavor to it. Ergo, Cordon Bleu crew.
That's
Yes.
Ginkgo's very nice way of saying that they also don't want to sit there and practice putting our hands on our hips at the same time. Just so you know. So that's like a social cue that if you missed that, that was just Ginkgo being very
Oh.
nice about it. I won't be as nice about it. I don't want to do that.
Perhaps maybe when I put my hands on your hips, you guys can all assume a pose, and it's like we all have like a no, okay, I'm gonna walk.
And
And when I dip, you dip, we dip.
We did.
Um,
Perfect.
Thank you. So that was sort of an awkward little encounter, but once again, it wasn't aggressive. Like I said, they seemed more confused and just kind of curious why you were there in the first place. And kind of perplexed that you lost your hero.
Things happen.
Yeah.
Some people lose their keys. We lose our hero. You know?
Yeah.
Keys, hero, same thing.
Yeah.
part of the hero's journey is getting lost.
Yeah.
And
By
to
the
be fair,
people that work for you.
if we think about it, it's easier to lose a hero than it is to lose your keys because they have every right to go walk away on their own. My keys are always on the counter. I am just blind and
The
don't see
keys
them for
don't
the
have to
17th
brood.
time.
The hero does.
The hero does have to brood.
And when the
Does in
boss
fact-
is
They
lost,
do in fact brood.
who's the boss?
We all are the boss.
We are our own bosses in our own type of way. If we really kind of think about
We
it.
make our own hours.
That sounds really awful. I don't think I want to do that. I would rather have a boss,
Before
preferably.
before I was a side quester, I did sell commemorative knives, and I was also my own boss there.
That makes perfect sense for who you are as a person.
I feel that there are undertones in what you just said, but I choose to ignore them.
Good call.
So I assume you all keep walking on the path towards. There's not, because there is a path now that you have stumbled across
Mhm.
towards a city called Groveland.
Do we see any more airship parts on the way?
Occasionally, you see some bigger chunks, some smaller pieces, but nothing. You see a few like boot prints. They all seem to be going north.
Are they Neil sized?
I was gonna say, yeah. Little investigation seems like it's in order.
Sure, there is no investigation, but if you want to check out them prints, that'll be a D20.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then if there's an attribute you think works, you can try and sell me on it.
Game Master, I've come to bargain.
Okay, what do you got?
Perfect.
What are shoes, but not technology for your feet?
No,
No,
I'm gonna pass on that. I respect the hustle, I really do, but
I
I'm gonna say
would-
no.
I would like to throw something in the ring, and if you say no, that is super fair of you. Please know
Okay.
that I am walking in saying that.
Okay.
I have relentless discovery, which means I learn 24/7 and I don't sleep because of it. I would
Mhm.
assume that when Neil first hired me, I would have taken as much time as I needed to learn basically everything about them.
Okay, I'll allow it.
Thank you.
I think that makes sense, especially for Edison, whose whole thing is helping a specific person.
Yeah.
So it would make sense that you would learn what they like, what they don't like, how they do things. So yeah, I will.
How do I repair whatever boots you may have. How do I fix anything about your life, really? Because that's what I'm here.
Yeah.
That's a
So
12.
that's gonna okay. I was gonna say it's a DC 15. So it's
Mixed
a mix.
success then.
It's a
Okay.
mixed success. So you
Okay.
get what you want. Um, you know that Neil wears really nice boots. Like quality, like fantasy Gucci or something. Yeah, they've got good taste. Ginkgo, you can appreciate that. And so you do find some fancier boot prints that don't look like a traveler would wear these. You're like 80% sure these are his or theirs because
Mhm.
there's not a lot of tread. It's roughly that size and shape. But you see them, and once again, they're kind of moving a little bit north, and then all of a sudden they kind of just disappear. Once again, you're like 80% sure these are Neil's.
They're probably his.
Yeah. And
Can't
then once again,
guarantee. A
it
lot
sort
of
of like
people.
stops,
Yeah.
which is
Oh,
kind of odd.
I can't guarantee it, as a lot of people wear very nice boots. These have low tread. They're about Neil's size, but the pressure may or may not be correct as far as walking goes. They do just stop though, so I don't really have a lot to compare.
Just stop as in like they were lifted up into the air, or
I mean, either that or
Perhaps Neil procured some type of jetted pack.
Yeah.
I built him one of those. Yeah.
Atherin sticks his nose in the air, and I'm gonna use a skill. Use acute sense of smell.
Okay, what are
Oh,
you sniffing for?
My boss.
Neil specifically, but for anybody that was on that he would be familiar with on the team, like anybody else that worked on the airship.
I'll say you can look for either Neil or another specific person. Because general sense, like, you know what Neil smells like. They probably wear like a nice cologne or something.
Yeah, I'd probably go for Neil. He probably knows
Okay.
Neil more than he knows the others.
Yeah. And I'm gonna make this DC 17.
Yeah, that was a 12.
Okay, so you smell a lot of things. And then you realize it's mostly just the smell of smoke. There's some stuff that was burning. It's kind of throwing you off. Unfortunately.
Ew.
Might as well keep walking in the direction they were heading.
Perhaps these tracks won't lead us to Neil, but lead us to someone else who may know where Neil's location is.
but that's a stretch. If we're going to a town, like a lot of people, like who's to say that they know Neil, much less where they are.
Well, if I know one thing about Neil, he's been in the town before, so perhaps he'd go to one again.
Who would you say is the most well traveled here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not. Yeah, I was about to say
No.
probably not me. I would absolutely go with the traveling chef.
Yeah, so Atherin, could you roll a d20? Because I want to see if you know anything about Groveland. 10 or lower, you don't. 11 or higher, you do.
14.
14, cool. So you've heard of Groveland. You know that it is kind of a big trading area. They'd probably know who Neil is. They have a large sort of artsy section because they manufacture dye is a big part of their production, as well as wool, and so they do a lot of like yarn dyeing and things of that nature. Because they also have fruit groves. That's where the name came from. So they're which are used in the process of making dyes, things of that nature. There's a chance that there's a decent chance that some of maybe the people that have been there longer, or people who travel more to Innovan, because this is getting towards the edge of the forest and turning into more like pasture land and farmland. So yeah, it's a pretty big city, but it's in the sense that like it's well populated. There's a decent amount of stuff going on. Trade, like I said, trade's really big because it's, at the edge of the forest, so the people that live there can go there to get stuff from the city without having to go to the city.
And they might have seen travelers come
For
through,
sure.
so
Most people stop through Groveland.
could be worth a look.
If nothing else, because it's like, oh, we need to, we want to resupply and get stuff before we continue into the fort, like into the woods of Torin. So it makes sense that people would go there.
And it could be a good place to rest up too. Might be
Yeah.
getting a bit late.
Fine, homeboy.
Once we get into the city, that is my place I know a lot of things about. So perhaps I could be of interest or use.
Okay, city it is, I guess.
Yes.
All right, fantastic. So we're gonna keep on walking. We're gonna keep. Are you still riding Kevin and Spirit?
I would imagine.
Yeah.
No reason for me to part from my beautiful boy.
Also, might as well
Yes.
reunite them with Neil, so just probably a good idea.
Oh yeah, for sure. And they
I-
have, other friends too, because these were not the only crystals that were brought.
Mhm.
S-
These are the only
Sp-
two that were lured in by food.
I can
Do you think we
feel.
Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, do you think we should find more crystals on our way?
Perhaps maybe we could use the crystal's natural call to call out to its friends. Start some type of herd. Are they a herd animal? I've never read books about them.
I'm gonna say yes, they're herd animals.
Wi-
I'm also gonna say you can rent and purchase crystals in most major cities. It would not be strange to be able to like a rental car service,
Mhm.
kind of
Rental Crystal?
rental crystals. Yeah, basically like to get around the city or to get to and from major ports. Or it's like, oh, I'm going scavenging and I want to ride something, and you can, go ride into the forest, come back, and or you can purchase them.
I think for
They're pretty
Ginkgo, just like
pricey.
having a crystal, like keeping the crystals, and finding more is more about like the practical. Let's bring these back to Neil because then like that reduces like that it just like makes it easier and probably makes it easier for them as well. And also then we don't have to go on a side quest of bringing these where are these crystals.
Say that feels like a very SideQuester thing of like, oh no, all the bird creatures got out. Go wrangle 5 bird creatures.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that there has been a moment where like the crystal pen opened and you had to go catch some of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a thing at least one or two of you have done.
I don't know about you, Ginkgo, but I don't want to go crystal wrangling again. Last time we went, I sprained both of my ankles.
Yeah, I remember that. That was really, ooh, that looked painful.
Hey, you never jump off of a crystal with both of your legs pointed towards the ground that's so far away.
Atherin. I was thinking,
Huh?
Atherin, the next time we go out to, like, stop at somewhere outside of the city, do you think we could cook more food to see if we can find more crystals? Because as I don't want to do that. I don't want to go back out here just to find some birds.
Might work. Hopefully, we haven't moved too far away from them.
I was hoping we could maybe use Spirit's mighty call in order to attract more crystals.
Oh.
Spirit hears his name and kind of like tilts his head, like, you're gonna ask me to do what now?
And Gurk pets Spirit's mane, getting more crystals embedded into his hand.
It's like,
Yep.
beautiful Spirit, I need to invoke your name in order for you to use your mighty voice to call your friends.
You didn't know that birds could roll their eyes until you
Good
saw
enough.
Spirit do it. All the brain cells that Kevin didn't get,
Yeah.
Spirit got.
Spirit, your temperament is so flippant. Please
And
agree
that-
with me this one time.
At that point, because Spirit did that, I just look at Kevin and go, "Hey, you remember when I taught you how to scream? Can you do that?"
I think Kevin, once again, hears his name, and then instead of like turning his head, like quirks it like a German Shepherd puppy. You know what I'm talking about? Where their ears kind of
Yes.
flip flop, and so Kevin just sort of like, burp,
Can you scream, please?
I think he thinks about it.
Fair. And honestly, I think that's all Edison even is like expecting at this point. But she's like, I know I taught you how to scream at some point because I thought it was very funny to scare some engineers. It's like her one like actual piece of humor is to scare engineers. So
Yeah.
she's like, Kevin will do pretty much anything. So
Let's roll a d20.
Sure.
I'm gonna say it's 50-50 once again, whether or
Okay.
not Kevin
I
gets
got a
it.
14.
14. So Kevin kind of remembers, and you also know that you need to like tickle him under his chin a little.
I also like just put a little like kiss in between his eyes, and because I'm made of water, it just like leaves a little like wet print in his feathers.
Right, and then he, shakes it off because and then
Just burst
after
off.
that, just sort of lets out a weird like trilling howl. I'm not gonna try and make that noise
Yeah,
because
that's fair.
I care about everyone's ears.
Headphone music.
And lets out a strange noise, and you hear a few respond in the distance, but you don't hear like the sound of their feet coming near.
Through the power of family. Wait, I have an idea. If we can get him to do that again, maybe I could listen for where the creatures are and try to triangulate their position.
Are you still walking forward, like on the path towards the city,
Yeah.
or have you fully stopped?
I would have stopped with Kevin because in my brain, I'm like, if they're not ahead of us, they're somewhere else, which means I need to be able to hear where they're coming from.
Okay.
If I walk too far ahead, they could be out of earshot.
Okay. So let's. You remember how to trigger Kevin.
Yeah.
Congratulations. So you don't need to roll for that again because you remembered how to do it.
Sweet.
And you can get a couple out of him before he gets tired of doing it.
Yeah. Before he's like, I'm over your bullshit. Please stop.
Exactly. When he's like, oh, I'm not getting anything out of this. Okay, so the plan is have Kevin scream and then listen for other crystal calls.
Yes.
Yes?
And
Yeah.
would I be able to use 1,000-yard stare in order to make like focus in and try to really like pinpoint in my perception where I hear the sounds coming from?
Isn't 1,000-yard stare more like intimidating someone, or
Or
is this your concentration? Like
it's like
double
Dirk
down
concentrate.
focus? Okay.
It's his like mind palace.
Yes, that's right. It's the Mind Palace. I forgot.
Not to quote the
Okay.
horrid show.
Okay. So anyone who's going to listen, I'm calling this roll triangulate the call. If you have an attribute, go ahead and let me know what it is. If not, you can roll a flat d20. That works too. The DC for this is going to be 16.
Okay. Cool.
Can I use Decent Hunter?
Yeah, I think that would work.
Gurk got a 15 plus 2, 17.
17.
I'm not getting it. I got a 4.
You look in the absolute opposite direction. You're like,
Ginkgo, those are just regular birds!
Oh, silly me. Ugh.
I got a 24.
24. Okay.
I got an 18. Not nearly as impressive as the 24, but I'll still take it.
Etherin just pulls out an iPad and opens up the Crystal tracking app. They're all chipped.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm gonna have to start making these DCs higher, I feel like. Anyway.
I mean, he's the party scout for a reason.
I mean, the system's new to me. Anyways, so Ginkgo, you look in the exact wrong direction, which is fine. It happens. The rest of your team, like, physically turns you in the correct direction. You're riding Kevin, and he even looked in the wrong direction. So you can blame him for that.
He's a bad influence.
He is. You can feel yourself getting dumber, but that's okay.
It's okay. I love him.
In
I
times
love
of trouble,
Kevin.
I'd follow Kevin into hell if he asked me to.
Honestly,
He
same.
wouldn't, because he doesn't understand the concept of hell. Anyway,
I would have to be the one to tell him he's going to hell, and then he still wouldn't realize he could ask anybody.
Wait,
No.
don't tell Kevin about the hell. He can live in a beautiful ignorance.
So-
I haven't taught Kevin about hell. Like as literally as Edison. Edison's like I haven't taught Kevin about hell. There are a lot of things I would like to teach Kevin. That's at like 1047 on the list of things to teach.
Have you taught him the allegory of the cave?
Not yet. That's number 502.
So
Spirit-
existential stuff and Kevin typically don't go together.
Yeah.
And that's
No.
another episode. I'm going to tell you right now, that's our side quest, teaching Kevin about hell.
Spirit
Just
told me everything
please.
about hell.
If you're really loving SideQuesters and you want us to do this, like have another, session at some point in the future where we teach Kevin about hell, go ahead and subscribe.
Let me know. I will be here. I will be right here teaching Kevin about hell if that's what the people want.
If that's what the people want, we're here to give them what they want.
Oh, Kevin the Fifth, sir.
So Kevin lets out a pretty good scream, and is rather proud of himself. And you hear some, I would say, off in the left, like towards deeper into the forest, and some further along the path, and then you hear a man shouting, and then a woman also shouting.
Real quick,
What do?
Gurk looks at Edison and almost looks towards Kevin, like, "Hey, you should probably pet Kevin after that very good scream. He did a very good job."
Very good job.
She gives
And-
him a couple extra pets along with another water kiss. There, I did it. Look, me and
Dirk.
Kevin are best buddies.
You look
Power
up.
of friendship, me and Kevin.
So
Af-
you also think you could travel maybe 20, 30 minutes deeper into the forest and find other crystals, assuming they stay in that general area. Also, like I said, much further along the path, and then you also heard a male and female voice shouting.
In
Gurk,
is it surprise or is it fear?
Surprise.
Oh, okay.
Gurk sort of motions for everybody to gather up, and he's like, "I have yet another one of my famous Gurk hypothesi.
Uh-huh.
I believe it would be beneficial if we had two teams, Team Crystal and Team Scream.
Mm-hmm.
Team Crystal will go to where we believe the crystals are with the crystals and gather the crystals and make them all together as a big happy family.
Mm-hmm.
Then Team Scream goes and investigates the scream and hopefully finds Neil and or dastardly villain Storm Crowdagger. Ooh, I hate him. I hate him so much I want to poke him on the head. Ooh.
I think it's a good idea. I have proposals for the teams. We can do Atherin and Gurk for the Scream team. Gurk because Gurk to talk and Atherin just in case we're not gonna talk. And Edison and I go check out the crystals.
All right, so we're gonna split the party.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
what a great idea, guys.
So,
I always think it's a great idea when we isolate ourselves.
Yeah, I think that's great. And I
Yeah,
also think
Ephraim's gonna
No, go ahead.
Ephraim's gonna hand you can go ahead and Edison the rest of the food he made to help him.
oh, thank you.
very nice.
Okay.
I will pass this along to the birds, assuming I can get them to come with us.
Also, before we split up, we should probably decide on some type of safe word to scream and shout in case something goes wrong, so that way we can go to assist each other.
Uh-oh. That's my proposal.
Okay.
I love where your head is at, but I feel like that's a very natural thing to say, and maybe if you scream "uh-oh," then I'd hear it and I'd come to where you're at.
It's a natural thing to say.
Well, when something bad happens, I always say "uh-oh" or
There are
"whoopsie-daisy."
many words
Yikes.
that I go to before "uh-oh" or "whoopsie daisy."
Well,
or
uh-oh's a
yikes.
nice word.
Yeah, "uh-oh" is a very nice word that doesn't hurt the ears of the little children babies.
Yeah.
I think what we should do is take a quick break. Our side questers will also break and figure out what their safe word is going to be.
Great.
So-
Strawberries, right? That's what everybody was
Something
thinking in
like
their
that.
brain.
Strawberries.
Or uh-oh.
I was thinking Vuvuzela.
But anyways, we will be back shortly
Yeah, strawberries in the middle of the night.
after a quick little break. Stick around. All right, welcome back, everyone. You are watching SideQuesters on the Critical Misses Twitch channel, and right now, I believe our party was trying to find a safe word to use and/or scream should the plan go awry when they split up. Have we decided on a safe word?
I think I imagine we all sat around for like a good 5 minutes just workshopping,
Mm-hmm.
and we come to the colloquial agreement that there's nothing better than just "oh no." It gets the message
Yeah.
across so well, you know.
Oh no. Okay.
But you have to yell it so loud, because if you say it casually, I don't want to come running, and it's just a common occurrence that is bad. So scream with all your heart if something goes wrong.
We got it. I can do that.
And Gurk points in towards like Edison's chest. Is like,
Can you scream with all your heart if something goes wrong?
Oh, I think you're
oh,
muted.
My bad. Uh, sure. Like my theoretical heart. I've more like got a soul situation going on than a heart. But like I can scream really loud, or I can, uh, yeah, I will
Make
scream
a
loud.
big noise with all of your vocal circuitry.
That I can do.
Yes.
Okay. So
oh,
what are what are the two groups again?
I believe
And
it was Atherin and Gurk for the
yeah,
Scream team, and then Edison and me doing
And the
the Crystal
birds.
team. Yes.
Okay.
Crystal Catchers is the
Yes.
name of that team.
Catchers. Because like I said, you heard them and they're about a 25-30 minute walk in a general area. Obviously,
Yeah,
you can't pinpoint their exact location. You didn't trace the call. Um,
yeah. Evan basically tells them the direction
mhm.
and approximately how far that might be.
Yeah, and given the terrain, that's what's adding a lot of time as well because it's just you're gonna have to go off path to do that.
um,
Okay, and then the other two, you are going to investigate the male
scream.
and female screams.
Yes, I
Okay.
look over to Etherin and I'm like,
Ephraim, could you use your supreme senses in order to figure out where the scream of the man and the woman are?
They should be just up ahead. It
Per-
was just up the road, right?
Yeah, you're like 90% sure it's just up the road.
What? If you are okay with it, I will ride ahead, using my body and steed as some type of shield to protect you from danger.
Probably not the best idea.
You also know that like the roads typically aren't too dangerous. Um People who are like bandits or bad guys really get shut down because everyone's pretty chill about commerce here. Like it's very equal, very, there's not too much
And
in that regard. Of course, there are some more ferocious animals. That would be sort of the biggest issue.
and if you start riding recklessly, spirit will drag you because you have that rope tied around your bridle. His
Oh,
bridle.
I almost forgot. Oh no, my hubris. Thank you for reminding me.
and I think you can tell that Gurk is sort of getting lost in the weeds of just being in an unsure situation. Like he very much likes the fact that it's like, "Oh, I don't know what's going to happen. Oh, it could be so exciting," and he's like almost hopes that there's like danger.
Okay, so who? Oh, excuse me. I left my Ricola in the kitchen. Anyways, I'm gonna send my own little side quester to go get those for me in the form of my partner. But while I wait for my Ricola, who would like to go first? So who's gonna take the initiative? Because there really is no initiative in this game. Um, which team has a plan they would like to start executing? I guess sooner.
I don't really know. I like I'm letting Edison take the lead because it seems like they have a better bond with the crystals than I do.
I would very much assume that part of my restless discovery for probably at least a week was just centered on all of the animals because I get really bored when everyone else is asleep, and I don't really have anybody to talk to. So I made friends with birds. So I figure that I am walking a bit ahead of you if you're still riding Kevin, and I have all of the food. And so every, I don't know, like 100 yards or so, I'm just stopping for a second and looking around and listening. And once I've determined that there are no birds in the immediate vicinity, I just keep walking. And that is kind of Edison's whole plan, because they're of the mind of they'll smell it eventually. And if all else fails, I know what their tracks look like. So once I find a hint of a bird, I can probably find at least one bird.
Also, in the absence of Atherin, uh, Ginkgo is watching the six because they, on some level, they kind of take it for granted that like Atherin watches the six. So now he isn't here, so it's like, okay, someone's gonna be watching behind just in case.
Yeah. I'm gonna say you don't need to roll anything. You know kind of what to expect, and you're not seeing anything. You're seeing crystal prints every now and then. They're kind of scattered, like a frightened animal might be. But you're seeing a few, maybe a feather here and there. You know you're headed in the right direction.
I think every once in a while I'm calling out a name, being like, that one could not even be close, but maybe.
I am currently naming some in my head right now,
I love that.
writing them down.
Smart.
Yes.
Smart.
Mhm.
Don't want to open up the door for more Disney Channel original movie references. Very smart.
Mhm.
Mine was technically a reference to a Pixar movie, but yes.
The next one was Secretariat and then Stripes, and then I'm out.
Oh, rare. Okay. Um, okay. So you know there were about 6 crystals that were taken on this trip. Um, you have 2. You found Kevin and Spirit. Great. The others are named Roy, Rainbow, and Toasty.
Wait, we're missing one.
Rainbow Toasty, and I was going to say, I think I need one more name.
Oh, one more. Oh, that's right, because that's only 5. The 6th one's name is
I think we should go full like racehorse, like Polly's Big Win or something like that.
well, because these aren't race crystals. These are just
Oh,
around the town crystals. So this one's name is
maybe like
um
Schroeder. Since
I
it's
do like Secretariat. Secretariat was kind of
Secretariat
His
is
name-
so good.
his name
love
is
how-
Gibraltar.
I love
Okay.
that.
Yes.
Okay, so we have Gibraltar, Roy, Rainbow, and who is the last one?
Toasty.
Toasty. And then we have
Toasty.
Spirit and Kevin.
Yeah. So Roy has a orange crystals. Rainbow has rainbow crystals.
I would have died if you said anything but rainbow.
Yeah.
You were like, actually, rainbow, all clear. Like,
Mhm.
just clear chords.
Toasty has red, and Gibraltar has blue.
And then did we say earlier what? Oh, Kevin's pink and Spirit's yellow? Or do I have
Yes.
that backwards?
No, that's right. So they're all white and black birds, but their crystal coloration and their manes and tails are different. And you know Neil wants one of each color, so that way it's easy to tell who's who. Otherwise, they start to look real similar real quick. So
And they hate when you confuse their names.
some do. I mean, or they don't care. Like I said, like cats.
Yeah. So, Spirit hates it.
Mm-hmm. Spirit's got tude. So
Kevin barely remembers that his name is Kevin, so you can't offend him.
yeah, I think Spirit felt bad for Kevin and was like, "I'm just gonna keep an eye on you, buddy. Come on." Anywho, y'all are headed out. You know the names of the 4 you are missing. What's the plan?
I will be calling out the names of the crystals. I don't know what Edison will be doing. I will assume that they have a better grasp on the situation. I like to pet them sometimes. That's kind of it.
I am walking ahead and have Kevin's like bridle in my hand
Mhm.
because I know you're looking behind us a lot, and I really don't want you to run Kevin and yourself into a tree.
Mhm.
And like since I've got the food out and stuff, as you call names every once in a while, I'll stop, listen, look for like tracks that are around us to see if there might even be a chance of one nearby. And then once we've decided that that's not like possible where we are, I just sort of lead us in a new direction and keep going.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say roll me a d20, and I did mention earlier that y'all have wrangled these birds before,
Yeah.
so go ahead and just add a d4 because I
Oh.
feel like it. So you'll both roll a d20 and a d4, and the DC's
But
12.
both of us roll. You said
Yeah,
I got a 15.
you got a 15. That's fantastic.
11. So it's Edison's.
That's still a mixed
Edison's guess.
success
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
because because Athrun rolled so well earlier. It made this one a little bit easier because
Mhm.
he really was like, you go here, and then you'll go left a little, and then it's right in there. So you're able to see some like reddish crystal sticking out from a bush. Um,
Classic
and
Toasty.
you think you're seeing one of them. And you kind of hear like harsh rustling, not like
Mhm.
someone trying to hide their tracks, but like a giant bird moving through the brush.
I'll watch Kevin. You can go find Toasty.
Uh, yeah, I can find Toasty. That shouldn't be hard as I stare at red crystals that are slowly moving through brush.
Uh-huh.
And I'll like start to navigate through the bush. Toasty. Hey, we found two, and I would like your help because Rainbow and Roy like you best. So if you'll come with me, I will give you food.
You see Toasty stick his little head up.
Yeah.
Doesn't really quite understand what you're saying, but knows that, oh, one of my people is here.
Yeah.
You're not really a people, but like you're a caretaker. They
Yeah.
understand that concept.
I think I spend a lot of time with the birds because, like I said, I don't sleep and people do, and that makes me sad to be bored by myself.
And
Um,
they're very friendly. And also these are
yeah.
domesticated at this point.
Yeah.
So like they need you as much as you need them.
Come on,
So yeah,
buddy.
you see
Here's food. We're gonna go
yeah.
find some more. Let's go.
Oh yeah, you see Rainbow a few feet off and he starts
Perfect.
walking on over.
I will collect Toasty and just like I like basically I'm gonna watch the ones we already have just in case like God forbid like something spooks them and they run off, and Edison can keep on doing actual grabbing.
Here's
Yeah.
here's food for you. I know you like carrots. Thankfully, there are still some on this plate. So here, take a carrot, and then just go sit with Ginkgo, and with Kevin, and with Toasty. And I need to find two more of you.
Yes, you need to find Roy and Gibraltar.
Yes, I do.
Mhm. You think you're pretty close. You think you can hear a stream that they might be near that water.
Sweet.
Oh,
I'm just gonna keep cutting through brush then, I think, to like try to shortcut it.
just
Yeah.
so we can like get this out of the way, you still have extra leather. Let's just make like who has like bridles and who
Oh,
does not.
that's a good point.
I'm gonna just roll and see who does. Okay.
Because I think both Edison and I both have toolboxes. We can both make bridles out of whatever leather's
Yeah.
there.
Roy does not. Rainbow does not. Toasty does. And Gibraltar does as well. So Roy and Rainbow are the only ones that don't have bridles.
And we have both of them right now.
Mhm.
So
We don't have Roy. We have
oh, we
Rainbow.
have Toasty and
Yeah, Toasty does have one though. So we need
Yeah.
to make one for Rainbow.
Okay. I have first rate fixer. I don't know if if that would be good for making one.
I would say because you're not fixing something, you're creating it. I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
I use it only breaks sometimes because that's for me building things. It's just not always very successful.
Sure. Yeah, and because you saw this get done earlier, the DC is going to be lower. It's going to be 10.
Oh, that's beautiful. I got a 14.
Oh, fantastic. Okay. So I'll say you're able to fashion 2.
Okay, so
So you
here's
have
one.
1 and then 1 as a backup.
Okay.
Here's one for Rainbow, and then once we find Roy, I've got this one for him, and then I think they should all have them, and we should be able to get all of them back at once. You're just gonna probably need to lead 3, or they have spirit. You can lead 2, and I'll lead 3 since I spend a lot of time with them.
Perfect. Yeah.
Just can't hold 5 bridles at once. Okay,
Oh
off to
yeah,
find
it's a lot of
Roy.
birds.
Roy and Gibraltar.
Roy and Gibraltar. And you know Gibraltar's a big boy.
Yeah. This is not about me looking through bushes. This is me looking over bushes.
Yeah, Gibraltar's a big guy. And like I said, you heard a stream. You thinking that's a good
Yeah, that's where
You don't
I
need to roll
would.
for it.
Yeah, I'll head there next and see if I can find the other 2.
Okay. Sorry. I was looking
Never
at
fine.
a note.
You're good.
Okay. So yeah, you start looking, you walk over, Gibraltar recognizes you, trots right over, sees
Hi,
that you have
buddy.
food, trots faster.
Yup.
And then Roy in tow. Roy's a little lazy, so
Yeah,
kind of plods along.
he takes his time, but that's okay.
Takes
He's
his
doing his
time.
best out here.
He really is. He's hungry, and he's a little scared, but not in like a hurried way. So yeah, you're able to wrangle them all up, put bridles. They all have bridles on now. And I would say at this point, notice the sun is starting to now get in the direction of setting. It's not dark out, but you know soon it will be.
Okay, we need to go find the other 2 in the screams. So if you want to take 2 of these, and I'll probably go ahead and hand you Toasty and Roy's,
Mhm.
and then I'll take Rainbow, Gibraltar, and Kevin.
Okay. Yeah. It's a lot of birds, but I think we can handle it.
Back to the direction we came. So this way.
All right. I'm going to have you do one final roll.
Sure.
See how well you remember the direction you came in.
Oh.
Because you were given directions on how to get there, and you had to wander a little bit further because these birds wander. So give me a d20. It's going to be a DC 12.
I don't
Both
think
of
I
us?
have anything that I can add to this.
Both of us are rolling.
Oh, yeah, both of you.
Okay.
I got a 12 though, so it does not matter.
Oh, and I got a 13.
Perfect.
Hey.
So I think there might be a moment where like you stop and you're looking and you're like, oh crap. No, it's this way. Like I'm pretty sure it's this way, and you can head back in the correct direction.
If we were apart, we both would have gotten lost. But since we're
Yes.
together,
Even
the crystals are like, do you know
Yeah.
where you're going? Like, should we trust you? And they're like, okay, we should. But let's go to my Scream Boys.
yes.
Yes, the Scream Boys.
What's the plan, Scream Boys?
I think Girk walking along the way with Etherin
is like, so since we heard 2 screams, I will say there is the possibility that when we get to the screams, there may be something that we might need to bonk on the head a couple times, or something that wants to bonk us. Do
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, Ephraim has his bow and arrows out.
He does. Okay.
Since you are one to use the archery, maybe you should, like, when we get close, hang back and scan the area. So that way, if something pops up, you can shoot it immediately. And since I whack things very nice with my sword, then maybe I should be the one who takes the point. No pun intended, because the point of the sword, yes, you get it.
Okay. He just slashed himself.
All right. So
I-
are you staying on the road? The road is winding through the forest. There are some longer stretches, but it's pretty curvy.
I'm thinking maybe we could do some type of situation where I stay on the road like some sort of idiot, but you take the not road, so that way it's an unexpected strike.
Yeah. He's gonna follow suit with that, but always keep your in his sight line.
Okay,
Uh,
that works
um,
for me.
Perfect.
Um, okay, so you are walking along the road. You are keeping Greg in your sight line. I'm not going to make you roll for this because it's pretty easy to keep track of each other. So, Girk, as you're walking along the road, um, you hear shouting of two people, a female voice and a male voice. And it sounds like they're shouting at each other.
Oh,
Are
a
you going to
civil
keep
disobedience.
going?
Can I sort of like put my ear out and try to like figure out what they're saying?
Sure, yeah. Give me a roll for it to see how much you get.
Okay, I've got another bargain.
Sure.
I would like to reach inside of my accessory kit for my robot arm and pull out the funnel accessory and put it up to my ear and to create like a little bullhorn situation.
How is that an arm accessory?
I imagine it's like you attach it to your arm and then it's a funnel but it's attached to your hand and it's like
I'm gonna let you use it because I like the idea of an old timey horn. I just couldn't picture logistically where
yeah,
that was going.
it's like a cooking set toolbox but instead it's just bolted onto an arm.
Sure, I'll
Normally,
say you
normally
get
it's
a D4 for that. That sounds like a
normally it's
D4.
just like candy making, but he's using it.
It's like, yes, this chocolate making funnel will make a fantastic bullhorn.
The DC is
Okay,
gonna be 16.
that is perfect because I got a 13 plus 4, which is a
Oh,
17.
fantastic, 17. So you hear the shouting of, I swear, this is the last time I'm doing this. I can't do voices. God, my throat hurts. And then the male voice kind of being like, I swear I didn't do anything. You heard the noises. The crystals got upset. And it sounds very much like a domestic argument. Um,
A lovel's quarrel.
Does the male voice seem like my beautiful boss Neil Bronzeflame?
it does not, no.
Oh.
I look over to Ethrin and I sort of mouth,
It is a voice we do not care about, but my curiosity is still piqued.
and God, I forgot my own guy's name. Girk is going to slowly travel towards the noise, but he's going to like be saying under like not under his breath, but like a sort of like scream talking type of thing.
Tis I, Girk Haversham, SideQuester of beautiful hero Neil Bronzeflame, here to save the day.
As I sort of like enter their area to like insert myself in their conversation.
Yeah, so what you see is when you sort of round a little corner is a cart. There are 4 crystals attached to the front of it. There's a couple sitting in like the driver's seat of the cart. And it looks like they were bickering and then they stopped to see who was yelling as they rounded the corner. And the crystals look very flustered and upset. Like very flustered and upset and kind of stamping around like they want to go or move or do something. Like something scared them. Potentially the scream of Kevin, who's to say. Um, but you see that the wagon that the cart they're on is covered. They're 2 humans, both with sort of fair skin, dark hair. I would say pretty standard clothing. Nothing real exciting. And they looked like they were in a heated argument, and then they both sort of just turned to look at you.
All right. And before this social encounter starts, what does Neil look like?
So Neil looks like. Let me make sure I say this correctly because I have it all written down. Neil is a human with a sort of medium build. Is around 5'10", dark green eyes, light brown hair, a really well manicured beard. Like it's really nice. Um, soft smile. Um, yeah.
Yeah, so Girk sort of sees these two arguing and he gets like another big smile as he says,
Hello, humans! Hi! If you could stop your squabbling, I have but a simple question.
Do I know you?
No, but that's the thing about strangers. We don't know each other yet, but we will soon know each other. May I approach?
Sure. We're not selling anything today.
I I didn't even imply that, but good to know. I have a question for you.
Okay.
And Gurk continues like pointing to them at like the whole way as he's riding up.
You
And
see the like both of them kind of look at each other like
Yeah,
they're kind of mouthing to each other like I don't know, but just go with it, I guess. Like
yeah,
he seems harmless. Like it's just a guy.
yeah. Seeing that there's no apparent danger, Athens gonna come from where he is, holstering the bow and arrow.
Are you just gonna like jump out or
No, he's just gonna casually like head towards the road where Girk is.
okay, so like you're just walking along. Okay, that's fine. Because if you just were to leap out or just like, all of a sudden appear next to them,
yeah,
they might have feelings about that.
you got Gurk continuing to point at them as he rides up. It says,
Hello, I am on a very noble quest, and I was hoping I could gain your assistance. I was wondering if you'd seen a man with beautiful, kind eyes and a welcoming beard on this path. Perhaps walking in a way that demands some type of confidence in authority.
Um, they kind of look at each other and like, it looks like they're thinking and they shake their head. No, I haven't seen anyone like that.
when you say they're thinking, does it seem like they're parsing their mind or they're trying to like be on the same wavelength for a lie?
No, it looks like it's like one of them going, "Oh, I haven't seen that. Have you seen that?" No, I haven't seen that. Yeah, we haven't seen that. Like,
Well, that is a shame, but there's another thing I seem to have noticed, and I hate to make it seem like I was eavesdropping, but it looks like you were having some type of disagreement. Is there a problem that you are experiencing?
yes, we got new crystals, and these ones are just, oh, can I just say? And she's like about to go off on this tangent that he has clearly heard before, about how these crystals are young and inexperienced and don't like pulling carts. And then they heard some noise that scared the crap out of them, and she just wants to use the old crystals, but they're getting tired, and so she's very upset that she's trying to calm these animals down so that they're going to make a delivery.
Oh, yeah. Classic crystal problem. You give a group of new crystals and they have trouble working together, generating crystal power. I have a solution.
We
This
didn't. Okay.
is my beautiful steed, Spirit. He is a crystal savant in terms of crystal resources. Perhaps his mighty call will be able to calm your crystals down so the Spirit is experienced in leading a crystal charge.
I love the lore we're creating for these birds. It just makes me so happy.
I imagine since Spirit is the most like charismatic and smart one, he'd probably be like the lead Crystal where we like bundle them up as like a Crystal cart.
I wouldn't say he's the most intelligent. He's just the sassiest.
Oh, so
Um,
he's not Rudolph. He's like Prancer.
Sure.
Okay.
So are you gonna try and calm these people's crystals down?
Yeah, I'm gonna have a little powwow with Spirit real quick and be like,
Okay.
Listen up, Spirit, I know we have had our disagreements in the past. There was that one time you were teaching me about hell and I couldn't grasp the concept. But maybe if you use your sassiness in the way to reprimand these young crystals, they will get whipped in line through the power of your sassiness and sarcastic comments.
And of course, Spirit doesn't pick any of this up because it is a big dumb bird. But then through that motivational speech, Gurk is gonna believe that he has the power and ability to calm these crystals down.
Okay. And is there an attribute? Because I'm gonna make you roll for this. You don't just get to do it, unfortunately.
Could I use my tech savvy skill to create like a horse trinket. Okay, not a horse. I said the word again. I'm sorry. I shouldn't.
We can't talk about horses.
Oh, oh God, that's Gurk makes another strike in his book.
Yeah,
He said the swear jar, it's the horse jar.
the horse jar. We don't talk about horses. We definitely don't talk about what happened to horses.
Yeah, Gurk gets another 1,000-yard stare, but for even longer this time. So is that just like a D20 roll?
Yes, that's a flat D20, and the DC is 20. This is hard. You are attempting to do something very difficult.
So the great thing about a 5 is it's 20 divisible by 5, classically, as we all know.
Yes, classically. So
So
you end up you give this speech to Spirit, who kind of just stands there like, bro.
I imagine it's like a very big grand, like Gurk is like waving his hands in the air.
And then that's actually upsetting the Crestals even more. So you see that they have sort of like pranced away from you. Spirit does not care. These people are getting agitated and are like, excuse me. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for your help. We haven't seen your friend or whatever. But we need to go. Yeah, we need to go.
Hopefully this new experience brought you closer together as a couple in the unit. Perhaps
And then Gurk gets really close.
perhaps you could whisper to each other and put your hands on your hips.
And he smiles so big.
They do not. They are very confused and upset now.
Yeah. Anthony goes, appreciate your help. And he'll pass some things he's picked in the woods nearby that he knows are edible for the crystals.
Okay, so you are giving the frantic, strange crystals.
Yeah, it's kind of like a thank you.
Okay, and they sort of like smile and nod, and they're like, "Okay, are you two together?" Or...
Yes, this is my compatriot. I am actually the one who was hated by all birds, and I'm trying to befriend one bird as my mission. He is a mighty hunter who knows birds very well and could maybe even solve your problem.
So we're gonna pass.
Okay. We will leave you alone. Yes, I understand that I have created yet another social faux pas and will no longer make your life worse. I'm so sorry.
Sure. Okay, so you have a nice day, and
I prostrate myself.
they start to drive. They organize the birds, and they start driving off down the path. Pretty slow because, like I said, it's windy.
Atherin, Gurk puts his head down and sulks, and looks at you and says,
"Yet another friendship with birds ruined. I fear I will never improve."
Atherin will just put his hand on Gert's shoulder.
Atherin, how do you do it? How do you understand the language of these feathered creatures? They're so emotionally complex.
I tend to listen more than I speak.
Of course.
And then Gurk writes down in his notebook, understand the language of these beautiful feathered creatures. Dash, listen.
Yeah.
And he puts his ear. He puts his ear so close to Spirit for the rest of the ride.
Spirit is so confused because that's not how people ride. But they're not gonna he's not gonna fight you. He looks uncomfortable as you ride him.
Gurk is also just like humming like a little tune also, and near Spirit.
Yeah. Spirit's well trained, and it's just like I do my best, and this is what I get. So, I would say at this point you realize the same as the other two. The sun is heading in the setting direction. It's gonna get dark soon. You have a couple hours, but
do we meet back up?
Yeah. Did you set a destination point?
I think as soon as those people are out of earshot, Gurk just screams, "Oh no!" at the top of his lungs.
Oh, we gotta go. That sounds like there's trouble. We gotta go find them.
As we like take off, I'm gonna go. I swear, if he just screamed because he can't find us, I'm gonna be so angry.
No way. He'd never do that.
And in the moment, Gurk is smiling so big at Etherin, is like,
I'm so excited for our friends to show up. We'll have a big party and a big meal. It'll be a success.
You see Atherin, who was preparing to shoot a flaming arrow into the air. Just
and Gurk is just looking at the tip of the arrow with like empty eyes and a smile that's so big.
Oh boy.
and he just puts out the flame like into the dirt.
Did I do
That's
good?
a good call.
I did not show fear in the face of danger. Do I get a treat?
Sure.
Yes.
I was gonna say
does the
it's
grabbing
ginkgo.
hands.
It's the ginkgo with the candies. So if I remember correctly.
It is. Ginkgo does have the candies, and I don't think Ginkgo has arrived yet.
No, so I would say it takes a little bit, but
Gurk is doing grabby hands the whole time.
y'all meet back up along the trail at some point. So that's not an issue. You find each other. It's not too hard if you stick to the path.
Ginkgo just Gurk
Once the
gets treats.
Crystal crew finds that path again, because they did have to go off of it. But you're able to find each other. It's not too difficult.
What's the problem? It sounded like you needed help.
I was lonely and scared.
I say no. I don't say a word. I just look at Ginkgo.
Well, we're here now, so you don't have to be lonely or scared anymore. And
you
I will
have
be looking
retrieved-
at him.
You have retrieved the beautiful creatures.
Yes.
Hey, Gurk, could you roll a d20 for me, just real quick?
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
No reason.
That's a 3.
Wow, and in my head, I was like, the DC's 5. This is easy. Mixed success. You see Edison being weirdly quiet.
A single tear rolls down Gurk's
But you're also,
cheek.
but also, they have facial expressions that can be sometimes hard to read because they are steam. So you're not sure if you're misinterpreting something or if they're sick of your shit. So
Gurk goes from a big
Go
smile
away.
to Edison. Gurk looks directly at you and frowns with his whole face. He's just like,
Are you okay?
Edison.
What have I done? What have
I'm letting you guys handle this.
Oh, how do I put this? You're fine. You're okay. Everything's fine. We're back with the birds. There are only so many gears that I can turn at one time, and this cannot be one of them. You're doing great.
I sense subtext that I choose to ignore, but I can only ignore it for so long.
And one day we'll sit down and talk about it, but for right now, maybe we just use safe words for safety purposes.
So perhaps maybe if we split up again, there should be a safety word, but also a everybody come here, it's time to get together and be a team again word. Perhaps
Or
that's what
we-
we say.
That is a very long sentence to be a word. And also maybe we could also just meet up like a destination point instead of because it is more accurate to pick a destination and not just rely on sound. There are very few creatures that can just rely on sound. Get around, most need more than that sense. So in the end, things like a destination point sentence word are not the optimized way to do it.
And you see Gurk gets like a very mischievous and also like familiar look on his face as he's like,
Yes, I see what's happening here. I've been cursed again by the dreaded witch, Hindsight. I will improve, don't worry.
So what's the plan, gang?
Yeah, the sun is setting. I think we might obviously great that we have all these crystals with us. Or do we make camp and like just keep watch, mostly so the birds don't get away?
Well, maybe my big yell is a good reason to maybe trek on a little bit longer and make camp in another location. Perhaps, maybe if we make camp at the place where this area right here, right now, is a vantage point, we could see if anybody shows up to this scene of the scream.
Oh, that's pretty good. Any objections?
I will go wherever you all want to go, and then I will keep watch while you all sleep.
Fantastic.
How far is the town from where we are? Is it like hours or?
You think if you hustled, you could get there in about an hour and change. If you stroll, it's gonna take a little bit longer.
Do we have the money to store all 6 of these guys?
Yeah, it'll probably take us a while to bring all 6 with us too. So it'll probably take longer.
You know that most taverns and inns, if you secure a room, you also can secure board for an animal as well.
Okay, so we can do like I wouldn't mind going to a tavern if that's what you're thinking.
So are we striking out the possibility that Neil is out here in the forest with us and we believe he's in the city, yes?
I think we should look in the city, at least give it a fair go.
Alright, so so we want to go to the city now, or do we want to see it in the morning? Because I was thinking, of course, there's the scene of the scream plan, but oh my god, like Etherin said, we could knees to chest and make it to town. Am I right, ladies and gentlemen?
I
Uh,
kind of You go. You go.
I think it's less likely that Neil is still out in the forest. He has a lot of money and is not fond of the outdoors. If you haven't noticed, he sends us to the outdoors. So if he is able to travel on his own, I would say that he is definitely not in the woods.
Well, maybe it would be a good idea for all of us to hop on a feathered beast in order to make it to the city much faster, yes?
That's fine.
Yeah, if we can, sure.
We will make a crystal convoy. It will be mighty and majestic. No one will want to hit us.
I was trying to think of a really smart way to say no one wants to ambush us, but it didn't work out.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I think it's perfect.
Yeah, Etherin
Alright.
will wrangle like one to another, like whichever one he's riding, he's gonna wrangle another one to it to bring them along.
Yeah, because you're an orc, you're a little bit bigger. You have to ride Gibraltar, who's the beefy boy. But everyone else is human sized or elf sized. But you were saying you're gonna have another one like beside you?
Yeah, like they see like a lead.
Yeah. You have a
Oh.
lead attached. Of course. Okay.
For some reason, I thought you were going for like a motorcycle sidecar situation, which I thought was very inspired.
Yeah, at first I thought you were trying to ride 2 at the same time, and I was like, conceptually, not sure. But yeah.
I think Gurk gives that a shot.
He's like, double the crystal power. If you have the two of the crystals together, they have the trust and bond like a drift.
Are you going to do that?
No. I feel like they wouldn't. I think Gurk was just having fun in the space, but he knows that Spirit is like a solo rider, and he wouldn't enjoy that.
Yeah, it's also very hard. These are big animals.
I just slowly take the bridle of the other one from you and go,
no,
and take them with me.
They could develop a friendship and bond and be like partners.
They are, yeah, they're pretty bonded.
They're all friends.
They're all from the same herd.
I spend a lot of time with all of them. Neil has them in a very nice stable. I promise they're already friends.
Okay.
Okay, so who is gonna ride who? Sorry that Atherin, I've assigned you Gibraltar, but he's the beefier of the boys.
The beefy boy.
I'll continue riding Kevin.
You'll keep riding Kevin.
I'm gonna take Toasty this time around.
You're gonna take Toasty, okay.
Yeah, and I will lead
Rainbow and Roy?
Yeah.
I'll lead Roy and I'll ride Toasty.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll lead Rainbow.
Okay. Just making sure I know who is with who for no reason. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
All right. So you're gonna try and hustle into town, into the city.
Everyone
Yes.
needs to ride hard and fast.
I've
Gurk
taken one
puts
of
on
those
a
leftover
horse
pieces
wrangler
of
hat.
food and I'm like holding it out so Roy can see it because I know it will make him go faster.
Yeah, you know
Since
for
he's our little lazy
sure
boy.
Roy needs the carrot, not the stick.
Yeah.
So I
Um,
say, yeah, it takes a little. Did you have something?
I was just gonna say, Gurk whispers into Spirit's ears that he'll never give him the spurs.
Okay. You are gunning for a friendship with this animal, and I'm about it.
It was my mission. I am hanging out with this bird. It's baked in. We're gonna develop.
We're gonna develop. We have 2 more episodes, so
Oh yeah, I don't want to do it too fast. I play hard to get with Spirit. I'm like, I'm not gonna give you the spurs, but I might.
you might. Okay, so you are, I would say, riding with quickness. You're not pushing them to the limit because you don't really need to, and also it's hard to do.
Playing hard to get.
So you're kind of jogging along. As you get closer, you start to see and hear the sounds of a city. You realize you're starting to get to the outskirts. You're greeted by a beautiful apple orchard to your right, just rows and rows and rows of just gorgeous trees. Off to the left, you see a large herd of sheep. You see another orchard a little bit further down, and so it's starting to become a little bit more, you know, live. There's people here. Um, so you start to, and then you also see more people on the road coming and going. You see other animals, like people traveling with their dogs or other crystals, people, of different races. It's pretty mixed. It's still mostly human because that's what most of the population of the world is. Um, but and also you see some fairies they're small, but you see them kind of flitting about and chit chatting with people. As much as they like to be precocious, they also do need things from time to time. So they are willing to, deal with people at a certain point. You start to get closer to the city, and you're hearing like the hustle and bustle of people moving in and out, and you're greeted with some guards. There's not really a gate, but you see buildings, and you see it's like leading. This is a pretty direct path right into it, and you see some guards wearing, typical guard clothes, and then like the symbol of Groveland, which is just a large tree on their uniform.
I think as we get closer to the city, Gurk starts nervously doing that thing where he picks an apple off of a tree, shines it off of on a shirt, and takes a bite of it. But he keeps doing it like he's trying to practice. And there's like a trail of apples like leading up to the city gates.
Yeah, it's distracting Roy for sure, who keeps trying to eat them.
He keeps trying to stop me so he can bend down to eat another apple. And I'm like, Roy, my God.
Focus, buddy.
Yeah, buddy boy, I will get you so many treats, Roy. So many. Once we find Neil, I'm gonna have him give you so many treats. He will just stop biting apples right now.
And Roy doesn't understand this concept.
Yes, no, not
Instant
at all.
gratification animal. So
Exactly. Immediate reward versus I have to wait for it. No thanks.
no thanks.
Good.
So as you approach, you see that there's a little bit of a line. People have lined up to talk to these guards. One of which has like a clipboard, who's writing things down and then smiling and then gesturing for people to walk into the city.
Edison, this is where you use your clerical skills to get us into the city through your power of words.
My
Gurk
power.
smiles really bad.
Sure, I can talk to people. This is not an event, but I will try my best.
It's just the basic facts. Just like, hey, we're here to do this. Let us thank you.
Sure,
I
I get
fear
that.
I fear my tendency of social faux pas will sour their mood towards us.
You know that's fair. I will try to do my best to sidestep around that, and I
If
will
you
tell them to let us through.
if you don't want to do it, I can do it. I can just
I
like
can
give
do
the
it.
can. Okay, okay, perfect.
I'm just usually not who people go to in social situations.
No,
This is very new
we're-
for me, but I will try.
We're
We're building up our
appealing to
skills.
authority. These people should follow all the rules that you have in your brain.
Well, that's
Yes.
fair. They do probably follow lots of rules, and I also do know lots of rules and follow lots of rules. That does make logical sense.
Two
And you're going to
sides, the
learn
same
how to talk
coin.
to guards.
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
god. Yeah. Go
So are you,
your mind.
is this conversation happening while you're in line?
Yes.
Okay, because there's a few people on foot. There's some people in carts. And the guards are taking their time. You see them having a conversation, writing some things down, maybe gesturing or pointing, and then eventually going, come on in. It takes a little bit. They do eventually get to you. Does anyone step forward as the person who's going to speak for the group, essentially?
I
Deep step
have
back.
been nominated.
Yeah, they're sort of looking for someone to do that because they see 4 of you and are like trying to be polite but don't know who to address.
Hi, I'm Edison.
Hello, welcome. Is this your first time in Groveland?
Yes, yes, we are
Oh,
all
fantastic.
new here.
You're all new here. Oh, wonderful. Welcome. What is your business here?
We are here to meet with our boss.
Your boss. And who is your boss? A
Uh,
citizen here? Or...
He is also passing through. His name is Neil. You probably have seen him. He's quite a big hero. He's got like a very nice beard. He's very tall and
you
thin.
said
Kind
what was
eyes.
the name?
Kind eyes. That was the other descriptor I am supposed to use. Yes.
And what was the name?
Neil Bronzeflame?
Neil
Yes,
Oh, Neil.
Yeah.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
You
Yeah.
must have felt the warmth of his nourishing soul.
He
Don't
smells
mind.
so big.
He just
Breeze
really
past that,
likes our.
but-
Yeah, he just really likes our boss. Don't mind him.
Yeah, Neil seems like a
No, he's
great
he's a-
person.
he's a
Never
really great
met
person.
them personally, but
No, they're wonderful. Honestly, a really great boss to have. We're just supposed to meet them here with all of the birds.
Oh, but that means you if you haven't met them, that means you haven't seen them?
no.
Mm.
I don't believe so. We took over this shift a couple hours ago, and they look to the person standing with them. One is a sun elf, the other is a human, and they kind of just look and go, and
I wouldn't
say
keep
no. But they're all. One
records
of them
who
is also
comes in.
writing things down.
I don't suppose you keep records of who comes in, or is it you just like check
Oh,
to
of
make
course
sure we're
we
not
do.
like
Yeah,
carrying?
we try
Perfect.
to. I mean, we can look if do you have proof that
That would
you
be.
work for.
Do we have proof? Like, is that a thing
Don't
that
we have-
like?
You
don't we have,
would.
like,
You would have like an insignia, like
Mm.
badge type thing.
I think we
I'm
all
basically-
show our.
Here is this. This is Neil's logo. They're also on the bridles of some of the birds. Some of them we had to fashion because they broke theirs. But
okay.
they are Neil's birds.
Oh, okay. Once they see that, they know what SideQuesters are and they understand. So they just wanted to confirm before they start giving you information. But you're being really candid and nice. So they're yeah. Let me go check. One of them, the sun elf, walks off. The human with the clipboard is just writing things down. Comes back with like some paper and flips through it and goes, "No, I'm not seeing the name. There was a Mariposa who said she was looking for Neil as well, or was on errands for them. I'm not sure the notes that were taken." And look at this flipping back, messy handwriting.
And
What
we're
can you do?
Very understandable. Oh no, messy handwriting is very hard to read.
Yeah.
Do I know that name as like an engineer or anybody that was on the airship?
Yeah, you know who Mariposa is. They are like one of Neil's confidants.
Oh, okay.
So not a
Um,
side quester, more like a colleague.
Yeah. We do know her, so maybe we could go in and meet with her, and maybe she knows where Neil is in their journey.
Sure, that's fine with us. We just need to make sure. So it's the 4 of you, your 6 crystals.
Mhm.
Do you have an idea of how long you'll be staying in our lovely city?
Um,
Possibly a day or two, maybe.
Yeah, a day or
a couple
two.
Day or
of
two?
days.
Day or two? Okay. Day or two. And then you see the human writing all this down. And they also ask for all your names.
I'm Edison. I have no surname. I
That's
was
fine.
made. Um,
Yeah, not
and
everyone has them. Some people have like 8 names, some people have one. It
yeah,
is what it
no.
is.
I'm glad I don't have a. Honestly, that just sounds like a lot to memorize. I have a lot of other things to memorize, and 8 names
Sure.
sounds
Yeah. Does everyone else give their name?
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, okay, we're doing that. We're doing that in character. My name's Ginkgo.
Ginkgo?
I've
Okay.
I've never figured out a last name, so I don't know if my character's a last name.
Sure. You don't have to. It's
Yeah.
completely up to you.
Yeah.
They don't seem surprised that you don't have one, and they aren't assuming you're deceiving them.
Okay.
So everyone else? Names?
Atherin.
Okay.
Girk Haversham of Innovin of the Haversham family line.
Kirk Haversham. Fantastic occupation. SideQuesters. Fantastic. 1 to 2 days. All right. So if you want to enter, you can have a good time. Of course, please follow the rules. No violence, no thievery. You know, just be good folks. If there's any issues, you can always come find guard. We're typically stationed at the ins and outs of the city, or just sort of walking around, making sure everyone's, you know, you know, following the rules. So you get the vibe that this is pretty standard. An event has the same sort of thing of like, don't be a dick, and it's not an issue. Um, the most, it seems like they are mostly there to stop people from haggling too much to the point where it gets heated. But like you see, they have swords. You don't think they use them that often. And they have no reason to like not trust you because this is a big trade center. So like it's normal for people to come in and out, especially side questers. So they welcome you into the city.
And Girk looks down and is like, I also have a slight confession to make. So I am not only a side quester, I am also a tinker and amateur jazz musician.
Okay.
So, if in order of transparency, I would like if you need to have that down for me.
No, we're good. She stops the human from writing things and is like, um,
No, it's okay.
no, it's more just for like data purposes.
Okay, well, the
Think-
number of jazz musicians in the city has changed. So write that down in your little fucking book.
Okay, thank you so much. Have a great time. And they're starting to usher the next person in line to come along.
And Gurg looks over to Ginkgo like,
I nailed it so hard.
I think we all nailed that. Edison, you did great.
Thanks. I'm really good at it when I can tell the truth.
Yeah. And that's all you need to do.
We are not the types for skullduggery and subterfuge. Very trustworthy types.
yeah, and he
Yes.
says that part like super loud.
Yeah.
We never lie. We are the most noble heroes of all time.
We love telling the truth. It's just our hobby.
And he says
You-
that looking directly at the guard.
You are saying this very loud in a way that probably makes authority suspicious of us. I would suggest saying it at a
Oh,
normal volume for
Don't
the
worry.
space that we are in.
I've got something for that. Don't worry, I'm not lying. I love telling the truth. It's my favorite
That-
thing to do.
That is even worse. I don't know how to tell you this, but you do right now look like a very big liar. It-
Atherin will grab Spear's bridle and pull them along.
Thank you. I appreciate the help.
The guards are full ignoring you. Like they have a job. People have started to walk around you because they've been allowed into the city. And you're now exclaiming you're not a liar. And they're like, okay. That's really
not a liar.
good. Good job, buddy.
I tell the truth every day. You gotta understand.
Sure. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. Like people are more like, okay, this is weird. Like they're not suspicious as much as they are like, is he good? Like, so once you get in, you can see there's a lot of little markets and shops and roads that sort of intertwine and move around. There's some taverns, some inns, some, bars and restaurants, as well as market stalls that seem to be closing for the evening. Most, if not all, seem to be like closing down. It's almost dinner time, so they're done for the day.
We should find
You
like
know that Mariposa is in the city. Once again, you all have met her, one of Neil's confidants. What is your plan of action?
weren't we going to look for the inn situation? Yes.
I think we should do the inns first because we need to like. It would probably be a lot easier to just like travel around without 6 of these guys.
Yes. 6 crystals is a crowd.
Yeah.
3 crystals? That's a party. Am I right, ladies and gentlemen?
You see
I
people
think-
riding crystals around town, so it's not weird if you were to keep riding them. But
We should have just like 4 casual crystals, though.
Do we need like? Is this like? I guess like. I want to walk around on foot for a little bit, and then I might go back and get a crystal. But I think if you guys want to venture farther away from like wherever a tavern is, wherever inn we use, and then our meeting location will be the inn because we certainly can't say when things go bad.
No, that would be so bad because then the bad guys would know that we're afraid and sad.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we'll drop off the crystals. Maybe we should. Is there a way that we could like whistle for the crystals and they come to our location if they hear the whistle?
no.
Okay.
These crystals are not trained for that. You can train a crystal to do that. You know that these have not been trained to do that.
Yeah, it's like if I do reach my goal of befriending a bird, then I think that's a level that we could get on. But right now, no.
Yeah. No, yeah, you think that could be done, but not overnight.
So, does anyone know of like a chain of inns that they're familiar with, or the like the local spot? I don't know. I've never been here before.
None of us have been. I guess like Atheron. Got any Rex?
Did you pick up a promotional pamphlet on the way in, perhaps?
Wait, Atheron, you've been here, right?
Well, once, twice.
Yeah, you've probably been through. Yeah, like I said, maybe once or twice. I don't know how old you were or what you were up to, but yeah.
Yeah, I think he was probably
the
pretty
area.
young.
Yeah.
Yeah, he leads them to where general taverns and inns are.
Yeah, there's a few down a certain row, and you see people coming in and out of these buildings, surrounded by some bars, and some market stalls selling like tchotchkes, and like little toys and trinkets, like souvenir crap. But you see one called the Purple Pouch, and it just has a picture of like a little pouch and someone like comfortably sleeping inside of it on a sign hanging up. There's a few others called Poppy's Place. Um, Mika's Pleasure Palace. And then that's all I have written down so far. So that's what you've seen.
Girk's brow furrows at Mia's pleasure palace.
I think not. I would not like to go to a place like that with my coworkers. I think that would make things worse.
That building makes my tummy upset.
Yeah.
You think pleasure was misinterpreted? Because on the sign, it just has a person getting like a massage and then like someone else like doing their toenails. You
The
think
spot.
Girk points at the sign and says,
That's two different areas that I don't want stimulated at the same time.
yeah, so you think it's a spa that just got mistranslated.
Spa days are not in our package. We'd have to pay for that out of pocket.
I will say that the deeper into the city you go, the nicer the taverns get.
hmm
So that just depends on how much money you want to spend. I'm gonna say you all have enough to stay a few night at place. You all get paid to do what you're doing. You have money, that's not an issue. If you want to stay at the fancy places, that might become an issue.
I mean, I don't think we're down for the fancy places.
I
Oh,
said we go to Applebee's and get appetizers and $1 margs.
we have to put away the crystals first.
Yeah.
Oh,
You still
can
go
we
one
not
with a
put them in the
stable.
Crestle lot?
Ah, there's
No,
6
so
of
there's
them.
yeah, no. So you know that if you stay at an inn, they will have boarding for your basically one crystal per person. You can pay a little bit extra for them to house the other two.
Okay, okay. So we'll go to the inn, store the crystals, then appetizers and $1 margs. Yes, yes, good.
I think it's perfect. Well, yeah, it's getting pretty late. I feel like it's time to clock out for the night
Y-
before
I
we.
I hope it does not come off as irresponsible as with my excitement for getting food. I am just hungry and giving up.
I don't think that's like unprofessional. But do we really need to clock out if we are still going to be actively working? I mean, Neil could be at wherever that food is that you all want.
What
Oh
time?
yes, we could. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, what time is it? That's what I'm asking.
I'm gonna say it's like
Happy
6
hour.
p.m.
6 p.m. Okay. So I mean, like, I'm like clocking out. It's like it's I'm using it very figuratively
We could
because
comp this meal.
we could comp this meal.
Oh, it's a business dinner.
It is a
It's
business dinner.
so official. I'll get in my finest leathers.
How do
Are
we
you all?
feel? How do we?
I have a question. Are you all standing in the middle of the road having this conversation?
I don't think so. I think like we would have gotten off to the side at this point because like
I'm just
we're
making
deciding
sure.
we're deciding on the hotel, right? So we
Mm.
or the inn. So we're probably
Yeah.
sitting off to the side discussing this. I
Yeah.
personally don't care about what pill what wow, I don't know why I said pill. What inn we use. Oh, it's cuz the purple what is
Purple
it? Purple
pleaser.
pouch.
Or-
The purple pouch.
No, the
Purple pouch
purple
Pleasure
pouch.
Palace
Pleasure.
inn.
Poppy's place. Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah, Poppy Place.
I got carried away with the peas.
No, I got that. It like
I was the only one that lost in the weeds.
yeah. I got lost in the pills, I guess. Like, but anyway, um, I don't
And
like.
you see others, but those are the
Mhm.
ones that stand out as sort of like
Let's just go into
larger, you know.
yeah. Let's just go into one of them. Put away our crystals, or put away at least 2 of them. Uh,
Yeah, so we could ride the crystals to the restaurant.
mm-hmm. I
Perfect.
know.
Okay. Well,
Ather, I know you like to cook, but I think like it's probably good to conserve our resources just in case we have to go out more, and so we don't like reduce like how much. Or actually, no, you don't carry food with you. You just hunt.
and Etherin, I was thinking maybe you could hone your culinary skills by eating the food of another skilled chef.
That's what I usually do when I enter a new town.
Hmm. Learned man. Well, since I am a man of the city, I was thinking I could talk to the hotel clerk.
You want to talk to an inn?
Yeah,
The hostess, I guess.
I imagine Gurk confidently walks into the purple pouch.
Yeah, you walk into the purple pouch. It is unsurprisingly, it has purple adornments. It is owned by Moon Eidolons, who, you know, are run it. Like I said, everything has a purple motif.
Mhm.
The first floor looks like a restaurant or like a place to eat. And then you see 2 sets of stairs on each side that go up, and then more that go up and up and up. It's pretty tall. You see a little thing off to the side where there's a bar, and people are working and chatting. It's not super busy, but like you'll need to flag someone down.
I think Gurk goes in and first, like, confidently whispers off to no one and puts his hands on his hips, hoping that somebody just like sees him and comes to him. But then I think he goes and tries to find like the desk person, or if there's like an attendant walking around.
You see an older woman who has sort of a lavender skin tone and like really pretty white hair and sort of thinned ears. And she smiles at you. Hi, can I help you?
And Girk sort of does like the oh wait, this is audio or visual medium. He does like this. He's like, "Hello, my name is Girk Haversham, and I would like to buy a hotel room."
You'd like a room. Okay, just for yourself?
No, I have three compatriots.
Okay, so one room for all of you, or do you
No,
each
no,
want your
no.
own
We're
room?
we're not that. We don't know each other that well. I would just like.
I don't want to assume, so.
You know what they say about assumptions? They make an ass out of you and me. He slaps
You-
his knee.
You see, she's laughing out of politeness, like a very customer service way.
And like Girk thinks that this is just how interactions go. Yeah, so I need 4 rooms, and we also do have 6 crystals that we would like to get board for.
Okay, 6. So okay. That'll be an extra couple, a little bit extra each night. That's not too much. And so she kind of writes it down. So 4 rooms, 4 crystals plus 2.
As she's
And then
writing,
gives you a total. It's very reasonable. And how many nights do you need these rooms?
and Girk turns around and like worriedly looks back at the team.
1, 2, 1 or 2, 2.
12.
Oh no!
No,
I-
it
no,
looks
no, no,
like
no.
it looks like that one's saying 2.
Oh, yes, 2 nights.
2 nights. Okay. So each night comes with 1 free meal a day, usually breakfast or dinner.
Is it a voucher for a
Included.
restaurant, or do we have to eat here?
You have to eat here. I like to think that we're pretty good. Yeah, I can give you 4 separate rooms, boarding for your crystals, and the vouchers for 1 meal per night you staying here. So she, walks away for a moment, grabs some keys, talks to a few other people, comes back over and writes down on another piece of paper some room numbers. So you have, 301, 2, 3, and 4. You're all on the 3rd floor. And you each get a key to your own room, as well as the vouchers to eat in their restaurant.
Do the rooms have that like connecting door thing?
No, they don't. So these really are all separate. Outside, there is another Moon Eidolon who is ready to take the crystals and is, happy to take them. Lets you know that you can come anytime. He points around back to where the barn is.
Girk spends like 10 minutes telling them about each of the crystals' quirks.
Like, Spirit is the sassy one, Kevin is the silent troll.
And they eat standard crystal food?
Well, Spirit likes a can of wet over dry, but if you just put a little bit of wet with just like dry around it, you can trick Spirit and they won't know the difference.
That's gonna cost more, I think.
Oh,
Like, this kid looks young. Like, this looks like the teenage son of the woman you spoke to.
Who am I to bend over backwards for this selfish bird? You feed Spirit just whatever slop you have sitting around. It'll make Spirit's character so much stronger.
Okay, well, we get the premium feed from the store, so
When you feed Spirit the premium feed, throw it down on the ground so that way Spirit understands that this isn't any type of special treatment.
we put it in buckets.
Put it in the most disrespectful bucket you have so that way Spirit learns to be more personable.
I don't think my mom wants me doing that. I'm gonna go. Thank you. And they bow for some reason. They're very confused.
And Girk just like gives a thumbs up and like nods his head with a big smile.
Adam puts a hand on Girk's shoulder. Girk? Spirit, along with the rest of us, fell out of an airship. And they can't fly.
Oh, what a humbling experience!
I'm pretty sure they know
so much.
I'm pretty sure they know hardship.
Oh my God!
Spirit, and Girk looks towards Spirit.
Spirit, the storied life that you've lived. I should never assume that you were such an arrogant creature.
Spirit
And
has
that's how you
fully
make
ignored
friends.
you and is following the young man who has promised feed. So
Another single tear rolls down Gert's cheek.
Such a complex animal I'll never understand.
You'll get it. I believe in you.
One day, the bridge of friendship will be a path that I get to walk down with a beautiful feathered creature.
so what is the plan now, gang?
Food
Uh,
vouchers.
Get some rest, go on an adventure in the city.
Eat and explore. And explore means, do we see our boss? Do we see Mariposa? Do we see anyone?
Edison.
Well, there's a lot of going on and around, so you need to do a little bit of exploration.
Mhm.
The woman who owns the inn, whose name is Genevieve,
Ooh.
gives you a little map of the city. It's not great. Think of it like a theme park map where like the big stuff is highlighted. So like, the good shopping for clothes is here, or like
They
you
have
sell
X
like
throwing.
all the like the garment dye is here, and this is where like the all because there's a bunch of fruit orchards. So like the best pies in town, and she like circles that on the map for you. Very a little bit touristy, but at the same time understanding that kind of gives you, and you see the town is sort of shaped like an oval, um in that on one end is a little bit more trade centrally, where it's like you're probably not going to get too much there because unless you're there to do business, there's not a lot going on. Then there's the more like markets where the people who live there trade do and stuff like that, and sort of all kind of mixed in. There's no area where she says like, "Oh, don't go there." There's nothing like that. But
Ethrin, Edison, I have a concept, another one of my famous hypotheses. Perhaps if Edison, you were to go deep into your mind and see if you remember Mary's eating habits, and Ethrin, if you go into your mind and see if you can remember what she liked to eat, maybe we could use that information to triangulate a place where she's going to get dinner to eat it. Yes, you like?
That's pretty good. I mean, it's not foolproof,
Of course not. None of my plans are.
but
Except
there's
for
like
that one time.
It is within the top 10 ideas that you have had today. I mean, I can try. Memorizing people's food orders that aren't Neil is not my strong suit,
Oh,
but I could try.
yeah, you might know hers. Athrun would probably know better.
Yeah.
Maybe it would be better to focus up on our boss instead of a strange lady who knows our boss tangentially, yes?
Girk's eyebrow goes up so high.
I mean, I can tell you what Neil likes to eat. That is part of my job. But also, didn't they say that Neil hasn't come in? He has no reason to give a fake name.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Oh, your mind, Edison, it is so complex and smart.
I would say this: Neil would not give a fake name unless there was a reason
Yeah.
to. There's not
Yeah.
a real reason to.
No.
Well,
Everybody loves Neil except for one person. So
it's true. He is famously loved by the world.
Well,
by most of the world.
That's what Girk
the
thinks.
people who know him tend to like him.
Girk is very impressionable. Like, I think Girk saw Neil walk into a room and like two guys were like, "Oh, yo, it's Neil." He's like,
Oh, he's the master of social encounters.
Okay, so are you going to roll to see if you can remember Mary Pose's food preferences?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say that's a DC 17.
Okay.
And you can use your pretty good cook, right? You have that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ella good
I think-
cook.
Yeah, I think that's an attribute you can use.
personality defining based cooking skills.
That is a 26.
26. Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So you know that this woman love soup more than any other person you've met in your entire life?
The soup store. That's where we have to buy our clothes too.
If you ask if you
reference.
ask Genevieve where like the good soup can be found, she'll recommend two different restaurants. Both are sort of in the same area of town. Like one's just on a different block than the other. But there are two good soup places that a soup lover would go to.
Hmm.
That at least Genevieve recommends.
Well, it looks as if we need to temporarily change our group's name for the Cordon Bleu crew to the Soup Troop.
Soup Troop.
Motion carried.
Sustained.
You would know that both of these
Bang the
restaurants are
gavel.
going to be a good 20-25 minute walk on foot.
Okay.
What about on Crystal?
No, I think like it's probably a good idea to walk just in case we see someone,
Oh,
and we can keep all our eyes out because like the soup store is the best place for us to go, but we don't even know if they're even going to be there at this point.
We should keep our heads on some type of swiveling apparatus.
I'd like to keep my head attached to my neck, but
That
I'd like
was
the
a test.
sentiment.
That was a test. Because if you said you wanted to take your head off your body, you would die, and it would be so bad. No, it makes me cry.
Yeah, if you take Crestal, it's going to take 10 to 15 minutes. They just
I
walk
think-
faster.
Yeah, I think we want to walk.
We'll
Going to walk on foot. Okay.
And we'll bond as a group and family.
Yeah, so you guys can head in that direction. Once again, they're on two different parts of the same kind of area, you know. One's a little bit smaller than the other. Let me think of names for these soup stores.
Why are you buying clothes at the soup store?
Wait, who's buying clothes at the soup store?
No, it's an internet video where
Oh.
it's like I don't know if it's a dub. I'm pretty sure it's a dub of an anime. I don't know if it's fan made or actually like official, but basically like I'm buying clothes, but all I see is soup.
I believe it's from internet creator Purple Eyes WTF.
Yeah.
A dub of I think
Okay.
Code Vein. I don't know. If people in chat understand the ref, they'll get it.
Okay, so you have two places you can go to. You can go to Millie's Soup Shop or Mushroom Madness, who specializes in mushroom soups.
Listen, I know I don't want to like skew the opinion of the group, but if there's a place we try out first, I would like to experience the madness of the psilocybin.
Okay. I mean, does anyone have any what's the word? Objections? Yeah, objections.
No, I'm good. I'll just tag along wherever. Food's not really my strong point. I appreciate that other people appreciate it.
We still all need to be trying to find just anyone.
You're looking for a Mariposa.
Well, I guess like
Or
Mariposa.
anyone.
Yeah, Mariposa is like the one that we've targeted on because it's like easy to find them or easy to understand like where they might be. But like if we see Neil, like,
or what if we see that bastard Storm Crowdagger? Do we hit him a bunch with our weapons and cunning?
We can talk to him first.
Okay.
That might be a good idea.
I don't think I signed anything that says I have to hit anybody with a certain something. I just
You could take notes on our hitting techniques and help us improve them together as a team.
I don't know. I think maybe we just talk like Inko said, and then we maybe happily move on our way. Maybe he's as synchronized as his side quest.
Yeah.
Oh, if Storm Crowdagger were to whisper to someone and fold his arms together, I would cry on the spot.
Also, your rivalry is not a violent one. It is a difference of opinion.
Yeah, it's no one wants to hit anyone. It's just I think you're an idiot both ways.
I got lost in the weeds again. I'm sorry. I got very passionate about our cause.
People
Okay,
get
so
passionate
we
sometimes.
are going to Mushroom Madness.
Yes.
Okay.
I hope this person is so quirky running this place.
So you guys get there. There's a sign that says Mushroom Madness and has a picture of a mushroom in a pot, a little asterisk next to madness, and at the bottom of the sign says not that kind. Um, Meaning you're
Gurk,
not going to
Gurk,
get
fr-
high off these mushrooms. It's literally just mushroom soup.
Gurk
Um,
frowns.
I know.
You
So yes,
buried the
they're
lead.
yeah. You can see that the little asterisk and the like was put on later after realizing the mistake in naming their business. Going inside, you see a wonderful human with extremely long hair, very dark skin, um, super great dreadlocks with beads and like all sorts of beautiful stuff. And they sort of like, welcome to Mushroom Madness. What can I get for you? Today's soups are. And they start listing off different types of like mushroom soups. They all sound pretty good. There's a few people sitting and eating, but this seems more like a to go type of place. They look more than happy to like give you a to go cauldron of soup.
To go cauldron.
Yes, to go
I will
cauldrons are things now.
The people here must be so strong.
I will name like one of the soups that they list, and I'll probably say like, "Hey, have you maybe seen like is Mariposa as well known as Neil?"
Not really.
Mhm.
You could describe her. You know that
Yeah, I
she
will
has tan
just
skin, yeah, dark hair, really pretty eye. You know, you can give her a
yeah
you can give the soup owner a description.
yeah I will say like, "Hey, have you seen like a woman? She has like tan skin, dark hair, really nice eyes. She usually loves soup, so we think she want to come here."
Ah, she sounds amazing. Everyone should love soup more. And this person is like ladling it into a little to go cauldron for you. Um, Adds a little sprinkle of some type of herb on top to kind of
Mhm,
just garnish, and then adds the little lid and hands it to you and
mhm.
kind of pauses and taps their chin a couple times and goes, maybe we've had a lot of foot traffic today. And just there are so many beautiful people in the world. And just, it can be difficult. However, if
Yeah.
they are a soup lover, this is the place to be. Um, and I'm gonna roll and see if they can remember. They rolled a 4, and so they're just like, I don't know. Like I said, so much beauty in the world, and it's just, um, everything they do seems very like wafty and druidy,
Mhm.
like just, and they're looking at the rest of the group. Can I get you all something?
Gurk whispers over to Ethrin.
It is very presumptuous to assume that you are the soup central location in terms of soup lovers.
Are you
But
saying that loud enough for them to hear?
I think Gurk is trying to be like quiet about it, but it's Gurk, so who knows?
They're gonna ignore it because they know they've got a good thing going on.
what is it the locals usually get? Is there like a famous mushroom madness special?
Oh yes, see, there's our classic. It names a type of mushroom, and
Mushroom cloud.
sure, and it's sort of really thick and creamy, and they add a lot of like some root vegetables and a lot of like locally grown herbs, and it tends to be everyone's favorite. It's like a chicken noodle soup type of thing.
Mm.
So we always have that available, although it can be hard for certain seasonal vegetables.
I'll get the what the locals have, and you guys, are you doing soup from the mushroom madness? Do you want to catch a wave of the mushroom madness?
He looks at Ethrin as being the only person who eats food who hasn't ordered anything. He's making direct eye contact.
Yeah. I think Athen ordered probably two different soups,
Yeah, they are
with
all about that.
two different types of mushrooms.
Sure. They, ladle it up, give you little lids on all your to go cauldrons, hands them out, charges you a pretty nominal. It's a
We
decent
comp the
price.
meal anyway.
Yeah. And then as well as breaking off a few pieces of like crusty bread for each of you to enjoy with your soup. But no, that's as far as they can, as far as they know. But please come back anytime. We're more than happy to have you and feed you and just be in your presence.
Thanks for the soup.
Of course.
You have
Uh,
the air of a very successful business person.
Thank you. We've been open for so long, and it just warms my heart and my soul to be able to do this. And just a single tear down there.
Similar to how a soup would warm the soul. I understand your tone of
Yes, you
language.
understand. You understand. You're not fighting the energy. Yes. Okay.
Well,
And then then they sort of like move you aside a little because more customers have come in and they're like, "Oh, thank you so much." And they're starting to serve other people unless you're going
Yeah.
to
You seem
interrupt.
like a fun guy. Real quick, if you don't mind my pun, I'm so sorry. I'm
Okay.
sure they get the fun guy joke all of the time because it's a mushroom-based restaurant is the thing.
I mean, it was kind of like it's not that we didn't get any information, but was a bit of a reach. Any other
You have
ideas?
you have one more place you can go, which is Millie's Soup Shop.
Hmm.
And like Gurk, as he's like drinking his soup with both hands, is like,
I think it would be a good idea if we were to visit the other soup location, but we must discard of our soup containers because it is a faux pas to walk into an establishment with another establishment's food. I've learned this from experience.
You
Okay,
also
yeah.
know that if you do eat them, there's like a little like receptacle outside of many restaurants where you can put your to-go cauldrons in when you're finished.
Yeah, that's great. I think we'll probably finish our soups here and then go to the next soup place. To at least ask. Do we have to return the soup receptacles or like it's
I'll
to
say that
go?
you do. I mean, you could also do it tomorrow, the next day, it doesn't matter.
Okay, so as long as like you do it. All right.
Yeah, people aren't offended. They understand the concept.
Yeah. Next soup place
Yeah.
on our soup tourism tour.
Yep. Millie's Soup Shop. This seems much more like a sit-down type of place. Lots of cute little wooden furniture. Cozy kind of vibe. You see like maybe some magic students studying, writing, taking notes on little notebooks. You see couples on a date. Pretty relaxed though. It's not like a high-end restaurant. And the menu is much larger. It contains more than just mushroom soup.
Should we go in? Are we ready to? Are we all finished with our soups?
Y'all just chug soup in like an alleyway.
Probably, yeah.
I like to think you all just shotgun the soup.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's also okay to carry it into another room.
Yeah.
People get it. Everyone's fine with it. There's healthy competition in the world. So like Millie's soup and Mushroom Madness are not gonna badmouth each other.
Yeah, Evan is
They get
carefully eating his soup.
And
Yeah.
if we can bring it in, I'm not gonna shotgun the soup. It's just takeout, essentially.
Yeah.
Throw it in.
It's basically you're carrying takeout. They wouldn't even know it's soup unless you told them. Yeah, if you go into Millie's, cozy little place, it's got a little fireplace inside.
Gurk does finish his, and he goes in with soup like running down his mouth.
Sure. And you can go up to the little counter where you can order, or you can sit down with a menu. It's up to you. Most people seem to be ordering at the counter.
We don't see Mary inside.
You don't see Mariposa inside. You can scan the room and you don't see her.
Do we still want to go and eat soup, or we want to finish our other soups? I don't think they're gonna be mad if we walk in, walk out.
I'd say the most that we should probably do is maybe ask if somebody has seen her, but There's no reason to double up on the soup.
Yeah. If anyone wants to get another dose of soup, they can go up to the front. I'm gonna look at everyone.
Efternan, how do
Athens already at the counter.
Okay,
It's
Oh,
already at the counter.
uh,
You see a really she's really short and stout, bright red hair, smiles up at you. Hi, what can I get for you today? Tonight.
He stares at the menu. And,
Yeah, there's like a chalkboard menu. There's like a squash soup, potato leek. There's a mushroom one as well.
why would I order soup with a leak and come out of the bowl?
Um, all sorts of stuff. There's like a few chowders. There's a chili.
he orders some soup with some meat in it.
Yeah. Okay, so she definitely has like a hearty beef stew that's got like meat and potatoes. It's like it's gonna fill you up. And she's happily goes. Would you like to eat this here, or do you want it to go?
Uh, Probably to go.
Sure. And she grabs you a little to-go cauldron and ladles. And you see her. There's a bunch of big pots on fire that you can see, and she walks around, finds that one, ladles it in, and closes it up for you. Is there anything else I can help you with, or anything else you'd like?
Oh yeah, have you seen one and he describes Mariposa in here at any point?
She pauses and thinks for a moment and tries to. You can see her doing the same thing the other shop owner did of trying to there's been a lot of people. And she goes, I think so. Would she was she a big soup fan?
Yes.
Okay. There was a young woman who it sounds like she ordered 7 soups. And said she'd be back for the best one tomorrow and then didn't say anything else. It was almost threatening sounding, but I took it as a compliment.
Yeah, that sounds like her.
Yeah. And you know that would. She would be analytical about this, where it's like, I'm going to try every soup this woman makes and then decide which one is my favorite and then just eat that for the whole time. Yeah, she was here, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours ago. Maybe it's hard to remember. The sun was still up, so and her arms were full of soup.
Mm.
I was honestly worried she'd drop.
If she comes back in here tomorrow before we do, could you tell her Athrun was looking for?
Sure. Is that you?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I think I can do that if I remember. Or you could come back and just eat more soup.
Oh, I
Wait
plan
for
to.
her. She's trying the gentle sales tactic of like, please come back to my restaurant and eat more soup.
I was saying, Gurk like looks over at Ginkgo's like, I've seen this before. This is a classic marketing strategy I learned in marketing school.
You went to marketing school?
I was a business student, but then I flunked out.
Oh.
Business school in Innovin is hard. But she's sort of like, yeah, because I might forget. It might just be safer if you came back and ate more soup.
Yeah, I already planned on it.
Oh, good. Okay, and once again, she charges you a pretty normal amount. It's a little bit extra than what you paid before, but you know that makes sense because there's a bunch of meat in this, so you get it. And it's heavy. Your little cauldron's heavy. And she just sort of smiles, like, yeah. So we'll see you tomorrow too.
You smiling at me or?
She's smiling at you.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, enjoy that. Let me know what you think. And but if I see your friend, I'll let her know, I guess. If I remember.
appreciate it, and he
Uh-huh.
gives a nod.
Yeah, and she sort of like flounces off to go help the next person.
And he'll go back
She
to the group.
she must have actually graduated business school. She was so good at making sure that she got another sale the next day.
Was Mariposa here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
was gonna be here earlier.
Okay, cool. Perfect.
So we have a lead
She's in
Yeah,
this part of the city.
yeah. She said she'd be here tomorrow.
for the best soup.
Was this like did she actually say like was that something like that actually happened or is that just like a marketing tactic?
Knowing her, she'll probably be back. She'll probably be back.
Okay. So we'll stake out the soup store tomorrow. Try to find her.
Yeah, you also have no reason to think that this woman lied to you.
Okay. Sounds good.
Like she seemed more concerned about Mariposa's arms carrying that many to-go cauldrons. Um, so
Do we know that Mariposa is like jacked?
I mean, she lifts.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, she's strong, but
I,
not. But like at the same time, it's like that's a lot of soup that one woman is carrying. You know what I'm saying?
well, and you already said like one thing of soup was very heavy, so like multiplying that out to 7,
Yeah.
that's a feat.
And eating all of it in a day.
Oh,
Yeah. Apparently, she's gonna eat all this soup. I mean,
she's
she's
gotta
not
be
a
so
small
bloated.
lady, but like
Still
She
not.
can't. She currently can't move right now.
she's in a soup coma for
Per-
sure.
Oh.
Perhaps we look for her now while she's immobilized by her soup hubris.
But
Superus, if you will.
what if she's in her like an in room? Like if she's like somewhere there. I mean, we can look for her a little bit, but we can only do so much.
Well, I also am entering a soup hubris-based coma. I will say.
Okay.
So what's the plan now? Are you gonna keep looking in the city? It is getting darker and later. Um, you're more
Let's
than
look.
welcome to, but at a certain point, you notice the foot traffic is slowing down. People are going
Let's look
home.
for an hour and then call it a night.
Yes. And then we get to give up, yes?
No, we'll go back. We'll go back tomorrow, and we'll try to find her at the soup store.
Yeah, yes! I believe in you.
Yes, I believe in us.
Oh, yes, us! We're a unit! We're a
Us.
team!
We're the Cordon Bleu crew.
No!
Yes. The soup
Not
troop. The
soup
soup
troop.
troop.
Slight addendum for the moment when we're on our soup adventure, then we go back to Cordon Bleu Crew.
Perfect.
Much more brand recognition.
Okay, so you are going to go out and look some more?
Just for a little bit,
You-
and then we're gonna go to bed.
Yeah, the moon is out and it's really bright and it's super beautiful. The night is pretty cool. So, I mean, it's a nice night. You do at a certain point. Actually, everyone roll a d20 for me.
Is this like to search?
I just want to see if you notice something.
Okay.
Oh, could I use like a magnifying glass attachment to like buff this roll?
No,
if I roll-
because you don't know what I'm attempting to
Okay.
potentially conceal from you.
That's
No,
a
16.
19.
Okay, I was gonna say it's a DC 16, but we've already got one person. Okay, what was that?
19.
Catherine?
Hmm?
Did everyone get above a 16, 17?
Girk
Yeah.
got a 15.
Okay,
Oh.
so Kirk kind of sees it, but not quite. It
He's
takes him a
still-
minute.
He's lost in the soup. He didn't quite finish it, so he's walking with it like.
So maybe while one of you has tilted your soup back for a little soup sip,
Mhm.
a sip of soup, you notice that there is a sort of like a spectral eagle, giant eagle, that you know that Neil is known to like borrow for rides. They have magic that can sort of create this animal that they can ride on. It doesn't happen super often, but you see the eagle, you don't see Neil.
Oh. Is it a follow that eagle sort of situation, or is it like a call the eagles situation?
This is an eagle that has circled and is flying off. You would not be able to follow it, and you
Okay.
don't think you could call it because it's not real. It is
Okay.
like spectral and like made of starlight kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like you could, whistle or try to lure it away.
But they're in the city. That's
Could
Deal's Eagle, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, for a, I mean,
Mhm.
other people can do similar magic.
Mhm.
You know that Neil does this magic specifically, that they have this
Okay.
capability.
Seems
Could
like Nia's been separated.
Perhaps the
And
scouting eagle.
is that possible that that the eagle can scout as well?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Hmm.
I
But
You know,
what
it's
have
would
powerful magic though, so it's
Yeah.
tough to do.
could I use my technomancy to try to fashion like a magical tracking dart?
Once again, this thing isn't like real. So like Neil
if
can use it because it's essentially a manifestation of their magic.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
So
But
like if you were to try to like lasso it or grab onto it, nothing would work. In the same way that if it tried to attack you, nothing would happen.
Can I
what
use float like a butterfly to try to like just get on closer to its level, like like to see like I guess to see farther like beyond the buildings and see in what direction it's going?
Sure, yeah. It's pretty high up in the sky. But yeah,
Just
you
like
can
a
do
little bit more perspective.
yeah, so let's say this is a DC 16.
Ah, that's a 12.
Okay, so a 12, I'm gonna call it a mixed success anyways. And so you see it sort of heading off towards the northern end of the city. Like it kind of makes a couple loops,
Mhm.
and you see like each loop gets a little bit larger, and it ends with a much larger loop, and then you don't see it loop back around, and it ends going towards probably the northern end of the city,
Okay,
further
so
from
it
the forest.
loops around and then goes to the northern end.
Yeah.
All right. I think it's going to like one of the more northern ends of the city. I think we can probably do some more exploring tomorrow, or half of us can go to the soup store find Mariposa. Half of us can try to find.
So we have two teams: the soup crew and the bird herd.
Yes,
I like
Soup
that
crew
idea.
and bird herd. All right.
I think we go at it tomorrow, but I think that should be tomorrow's plan.
Is it time to accept temporary defeat?
It's not temporary defeat; it's just a rest.
A success in progress.
Success
Okay,
and
so
progress.
I'm gonna wrap this up a little bit. You all decide to head back to the purple pouch. Your rooms are made up for you. The beds are obviously made have purple blankets. Very cozy, very nice. Each room has a little dresser. Nothing fancy. You have extra access to extra blankies if you need them. But something that one of you notices is that when you go to reach under your pillow to like get cozy, there is a letter waiting for you with Lord Storm Crowdagger's sigil on
Ooh.
He stole my Andes mint.
it. And that's where we're going to leave it off.
Ooh.
So
okay.
we'll see whose pillow that was, maybe. Maybe.
Oh, it's one person's pillow?
It's, yeah.
I thought we all had it one. It was gonna
Uh-uh.
be like a cordon bleu crew. I see you're on my tail.
And I'm going to send that person the message of what that letter contains. And maybe it will get revealed next time. Maybe not. I don't know. But for now, I'm going to say I think that's it. I have been May, your GM. You can find me on Twitter at Mamie Mayhem as well as on Blue Sky. You can also find me on the Dungeon Scrawlers channel in the month of November doing a Star Wars actual play. Please check that out. It was a lot of fun. This is very lighthearted. That one made me cry. So if you want to see that side of me, you're more than welcome to. Other than that, let's go around the room and everyone can, say who they are again and plug what they want to plug. And I'll let whoever take the reins. I will volunteer someone if no one
Oh no,
else.
I'll do it.
Okay, go ahead, Kai.
I'm Kai. You can find some of my stuff under the Better Adversary. That's on Blue Sky, and the everything else at at an Ray of Lives. That's on Twitter and TikTok, although I don't really post there as much as I used to. Most of my work you can find at kaidajesuscreates.com. Basically, literally anything else I've ever done on the internet is there, whether it's a podcast or like writing that I did. So go check it out.
Yeah. And now I'm gonna say what my name is. I am John Sand. You can find all of my TTRPG stuff as well as comedy things under Rap Squatch. I have a actual play podcast called Crit or Miss, where we play D&D. I play a little wizard. He's the best. I love him so much. And then you can find all of my musical adventures under my name, John Sand, on all major streaming services. And that's all.
I'll go. What's going on? I'm Ryan or Sphinx. You just find me in socials on Sphinx RL, Twitter, and Blue Sky. It's the only game I'm in right now. I usually just lurk in people's channels. Usually where you can find me.
And then there's me. Hi, I'm Mallory. I am all over the internet, anywhere it may have to offer you, at Moxie Blue, MoXXIEBLUE. I am a tabletop actual play performer at least 3 nights a week, sometimes more. I produce shows, I design games, I do all the things. Right now, tomorrow night, you can find me. We're recording a podcast live on Twitch, so we're recording all the podcast audio while we stream, so it's not your typical actual play stream, but we are playing Masks, and we are all essentially juvenile delinquents, trapped in Ward H, which is a fun little prison that's dressed up as a rehabilitation center for troubled youths with dangerous powers. And I'm playing Delaney Doyle. She's known as Silhouette. It's really cool. The cast is awesome, so I'm really excited about that one. I'm also helping with In December, which is a whole month long of indie games with indie creators. We have players, GMs, interviews, and panels, and a bunch of giveaways that are all from like small indie businesses in the tabletop space that have all been very kind and have donated different giveaways and prizes for that. And I will also be at PAX Unplugged. So if you see me, please come say hi. I would really love to meet you. But I'm super excited about all those things. I've got, I leave for PAX Unplugged early, so I officially, now that it's past midnight, leave in 2 weeks. And have
Puzzle.
all the things to do. But yeah, I'm everywhere. If you really want to know, check Twitter. I also have a website. It's just MalloryMice.com, and it's got a bunch of stuff on it, but it's all being like gutted and updated at this point. So you could look at it tomorrow and then look at it next week, and it'll look completely different.
So it sounds like we should just look on Twitter.
Yeah, just look on Twitter for right now. I put everything there. It's fine. There will be updates on the website very soon.
All right. And I forgot to plug one last thing for myself because I'm sick and I forget everything. I have a podcast that I'm resurrecting with my friend. It's called Socially Plagued, where we complain about stuff. That'll be coming back in January, but we'll have a episode in December talking about all that good stuff. Let's And also, please come back next week. We have 2 more episodes, so you can catch us here on the same channel, same time, same players, same place, same funness. We'll figure out what's going on with the soup crew and what's going on. So it looks like we can raid Bad House RPG. Let's go visit them for a little bit, and we will see you all next week. So excited.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
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 Combine look and skill.
Yeah.
Is it?
Are we safe now?
Can they not see us?
No.
Time to say
Maybe.
that
Maybe
the
not.
Avatar movie was actually great, and
Yes. Girk was evil the whole time. He looks to camera like in Thriller.
Dirk was the imposter from Among Us.
We are all pod people.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah.
Girk was the thing from The Thing, the movie The Thing. So he gets real
Bless
nasty
you.
I'm
looking.
sorry. Thank you. Oh,
You're
I'm
fine.
hoping
You're also
I'm
sick,
able to
so
be.
you're good.
Yeah, I wanted to do more cute voices, but it's really hard to do that when I can't speak. So
It'll make if you're not sick next week, it'll make them even better.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping I'm not sick next week. I have things to do.
Just stay like horizontal for as long as you possibly can.
That's the goal.
But that was really fun, guys. I hope that my stupid character didn't rub you guys the wrong way.
No, of course not. And listen, anytime I have a chance to plug soup as a great food,
Soup.
Yeah, so versatile.
Now I just really want soup. It is like almost 1 o'clock in the morning right now, and I.
Oh my gosh, we need to get you to bed. So
Yeah.
I do have work.
I'm happy to keep chatting with everyone because I like everyone here.
Yeah, we are
Have some
still
pretty cool
alive.
people in the chat.
Ooh, my the wonderful Candace the Magnificent just dropped in, and they're with me in masks. Yeah, that's Candace.
Wow,
they're with me in masks, and they're also my wonderful partner. So, 2 for 1 amazing.
Yeah.
Hello, Candace. Welcome to the Soup Crew. The Soup.
Yes, everyone who's watching is now part of the soup crew.
Yes.
We're all in this together. All
Not
soup
gonna
all
lie,
the time.
I'm not too far away from making just a piping hot bowl of French onion because I've got the Costco frozen guys that you just toss in the microwave.
See, I can't do French onion, but that's only because I grew up not eating onion because my mom was allergic. So like once I hit being an adult, I was like, wait, hold on. But I like a good like cheddar baked potato soup.
Classic.
All day.
Oh yeah.
All day long.
Have you ever had a tortilla soup?
Yeah.
I have, and I do enjoy tortilla soup.
I like it when I need to clear my sinuses because it's usually pretty spicy.
Oh. Yeah, whenever I need to clear the sinuses, I just go straight for like the
Have I never told you that? my partner in chat was like, "This is the first time I'm hearing of this. I love onions. Have I never mentioned that? My bad. That's okay. I'll always give you the onions. That'll fix it."
I thought "give you the onions" was like a threat. I'll give you the onions.
It's like when people are like, everybody has a friend that they give the pickle to when it comes with a sandwich and they don't want it. It's gonna be like that.
Okay.
Classic. Well, and on that note, I'm gonna give you all the onion and say good night.
Right.
Good night.
Not developing a turn of phrase. Goodbye.
Bye. Good night.
Remember to combine luck and skill for success.
Bye.
Peace out, guys.
Yeah, I'll also head out. See ya.